Xiao Hen understands very well how he came to be the team leader. This exploration competition has over 400 participants, divided into more than 20 teams, with team leaders selected purely based on strength, so naturally, older individuals have an advantage. That's how he became the team leader. It's quite frustrating, whether it's a coincidence or something his father Xiao Kangcheng intended, but not one of the members in his team is easy to deal with. Luo and Lu Dong, Zhu Ping, Luo Cheng, Liu Peng, Hang Yi, Zhao Yuanwu, Zhao Yuanchen, Zhao Yuankeng, Qin Feng, Liu Ming, Zhu Shen, plus himself and Xiao Lin, Xiao Jing, Xiao Yan from his own family, making a total of 16 members in the team. Anyone who's lived in Xia City for a few days would recognize these names immediately, knowing that each of them is a famous presence in the inner city. Their reputation is not only due to their prominent family backgrounds, but also closely tied to their talent and cultivation. After all, several of them have set breakthrough records in the martial arts pavilion. It's actually understandable. A prominent family background means ample resource supply. Given Great Xia's current ability to provide cultivation resources, unless one's talent is exceptionally poor, they are bound to make a name for themselves. Xiao Hen himself lives in the inner city, and he's part of this circle. He has heard of Luo and the others before and understands their backgrounds, but they haven't intersected much due to age differences. It wasn't until this encounter that he realized just how difficult these people could be. The exploration competition began in early August, and they've been together for almost 40 days. Xiao Hen has mostly understood the temperaments of these 12 individuals. Due to their high talent, good family backgrounds, and growing up in the inner city, they are more knowledgeable than most, inevitably possessing some arrogance. Though it hasn't reached the point of being dismissive of others, they are generally rebellious, and getting them to listen is particularly challenging. Though Xiao Hen is the team leader with greater strength than them, it's largely due to his age advantage, and these individuals are outwardly respectful but not genuinely convinced. Like tonight with the rock armor bear, Xiao Hen knew that everyone could easily defeat it head-on, but for safety's sake, he chose to adopt conventional hunting methods to minimize injury, which would benefit the subsequent exploration. Even though opposed by so many people, Xiao Hen doesn't believe his decision was wrong. The issue is that his role as team leader holds little weight in the eyes of Luo and the others. Otherwise, they wouldn't unite in opposing him. Do you want to start your own hunting team? Do you think because there are over 10,000 hunting teams in the camp now, leading one would be easy? You should understand the situation in the Xiao Mountain team before even considering starting a team. Recalling previous years when he didn't want to stay in the Xiao Mountain team, wishing to establish his own hunting team independently, his father Xiao Kangcheng's response didn't mean much to him at the time. Now that he's leading a team himself, he realizes the amount of information his father's words contained. Leading a team is indeed not easy. Leaving other matters aside, as a team leader, getting everyone to follow orders is incredibly difficult. Luo and the others, rebellious nature is part of the issue, but hunting exploration itself is already a risky endeavor, and it's normal for team members to have their own ideas. It's unrealistic to expect everyone to be puppets, following orders blindly. If a real crisis arose, that could lead to even bigger problems. Ultimately, it's because as a team leader, he hasn't demonstrated enough strength and capabilities, causing team members to be unconvinced and naturally not follow him. Faced with many objections, Xiao Hen doesn't respond immediately, but leads the 3 juniors from the Xiao family to clean up the game on the ground first. Although Luo and the others were not convinced, they wouldn't shirk the task at hand. Seeing Xiao Hen take the lead, they immediately joined in cleaning up the game. The rock armor bear is an intermediate cold beast. Its beast blood, beast skin, beast bone are all very valuable. The group quickly drained the beast blood and hid the bear in a tree with a specific mark for later retrieval. It's only the first half of the night, and they need to continue exploring deeper. The rock armor bear can be collected when they return to the base. Are you truly unafraid of danger? After the argument, as soon as the game was cleaned up, the atmosphere among everyone became somewhat silent. With everyone's eyes focused on him, Xiao Hen couldn't help but ask softly. Luo and the others clearly wanted to speed up the exploration process, hoping to catch up with other teams and earn a ranking in the competition. Since team members have actively voiced their opinions, as a team leader, Xiao Hen can't ignore them. or else the problems and conflicts will only intensify later. Of course, the reason we came to Yin is to compete, right? The rewards for this competition, just the Dan medicine itself, is worth 300,000 contribution value, along with other resources, totaling at least over 1,000,000 points. Your father, Lord Zio, has mentioned that only the top 3 teams will be considered. From what I know, we're not even in the top 5 currently. If we don't accelerate, aiming for the top 3 is definitely out of reach. Chapter 1157, Chapter 395, Changing Strategy, Extending an Olive Branch and Maintaining Pride, Part 2. That's right, the competition ends on the 1st of December, and it's already the 10th of September. Half of the competition is over, so we must speed up. Coming to the wilderness is itself an adventure. If you're afraid of danger, why come here at all? Hearing Luo and the others' responses, Zio Hen seemed to have made up his mind, nodding with a deep voice. All right, since none of you are afraid of danger, let's be more aggressive with our team. Every night we will explore 3 kilometers into the area. As for the cold beasts we encounter along the way, try not to disturb them if possible. If there's no other way, we won't follow my previous method of handling them. Just hunt them head-on, using the most time-efficient method, trying to leave as much time for exploration. Their main task was exploration, not hunting. In some ways, exploration is even more troublesome than hunting. Hunting only requires finding and killing a target within a defined area. Exploration's main aim is to open up unfamiliar areas and understand the terrain, vegetation, climate, environmental characteristics, and the general distribution and habits of cold beasts within a new area, comprehensively. Moreover, the unknown often signifies danger. Coupled with the unfamiliar cold beast species in the Mo mountain area, it's all unfamiliar to the people of Great Xia. So usually, the participating teams establish a distance target for the exploration each night. Previously, Zio Hen set a target for his team to explore 1 kilometer as deep as possible each night. But from early August until now, the total exploration progress was only 21 kilometers, meaning they rarely met the target and usually only managed to move about 500 meters deeper each night on average. There are reasons for this. Firstly, Zio Hen likes to plan and then act. Whenever arriving at a new place, he has the members gather to confirm there is no danger in the area before beginning the exploration work. Secondly, his style is rather cautious. When encountering cold beasts blocking the path, like the rock armor bear just now, to ensure no accidents among team members, he adopts the labor-saving and safe hunting methods, which ensures safety but wastes lots of time. The fact that Zio Hen voiced these thoughts now clearly indicates he's ready to change many of his previous team-leading habits, and upon hearing this, everyone's eyes lit up. We need to be more aggressive. Being 6 or 7 kilometers behind, if we don't catch up, how can we secure a good ranking? That's more like it. With the strength of our 16 members, unless we encounter advanced cold beasts, there generally shouldn't be any danger. Now that's the spirit of a captain. Seeing everyone's satisfied expressions, Zio Hen waved his hand slightly. He didn't know whether his approach was right, but considering the opinions of the members and resolving team conflicts is something he, as the captain, must do. All right, since you all agree from now on, let's split into 3 smaller teams. Luo and Luo Cheng, Lu Dong, Zhu Ping, Liu Peng, and I will form the front group. The remaining 10 will be divided into 2 teams led by Zio Lin and Zio Jing. Zio Lin leads the middle, Zio Jing the rear. We'll explore as fast as possible and report any issues by whistle immediately. Okay. The group immediately agreed heartily. Zio Lin and Zio Jing are about the same age as Zio Hen, with a basic strength of 82,000 and 85,000 respectively. They are naturally just second in strength to Zio Hen in the team, so no one objected to them leading. The 16 members quickly divided into 3 teams, forming a 6-5-5 formation, and began cautiously exploring deeper into the eastern snow forest. Unlike before, Zio Hen boldly led the exploration without requiring everyone to gather during the move, increasing the speed of exploration significantly. Those who mapped, those who recorded, those who surveyed. Within just over 3 hours, the small teams explored more than 1 kilometer without disturbing those cold beasts sleeping on the trees along the way. Everyone was immediately in high spirits. This warm atmosphere even made Luo and the others view Zio Hen much more favorably. Brother Zio, what's your basic strength now? Upon hearing Luo's low inquiry, Xiao Hen's face showed surprise. Even though they've been teamed up for over a month, there hasn't been much chatting among them, and this was the first time Luo had actively tried to talk to him. 93,000 pounds. Upon hearing Xiao Hen's answer, Luo's face immediately showed surprise. He knew Xiao Hen's strength was definitely superior to his, but had assumed his basic strength was at most over 80,000 pounds, indicating only an intermediate battle body talent. 93,000 pounds, just 7,000 pounds short of the superior battle body threshold. Brother Xiao, are you aiming for the superior battle body? Luo couldn't help but ask another question out of curiosity. At the peak of earth-digging realm, one can somewhat perceive their skin remodeling progress. Though there might be discrepancies, the general sense would not be far off, so without external help, as time progresses, everyone has a rough idea of their battle body talent. This question is rather private, and if it were a stranger asking, Xiao Hen would definitely ignore them. But seeing that Luo bore no ill intentions, he answered after a moment of thought, I think so, I feel it's possible. Superior battle body. Luo's expression hardened slightly, and he began to hold Xiao Hen in higher regard. Chapter 1158, Chapter 395, Changing Approach, Extending Goodwill and Hidden Pride, Part 3. His knowledge of Xiao Hen previously was limited to the fact that his two sisters were the minister's wife. He knew nothing else. As for the talent Xiao Hen displayed, Luo had always somewhat looked down on it, to be blunt. Xiao Hen would soon be 23 years old, and whether or not he was deliberately holding back his battle body talent, failing to break through to the cold resistance level at this age seemed problematic to the young people in their inner city. But now that Luo knew Xiao Hen had the potential to reach the superior battle body, he naturally wouldn't look down on him as he did before. Since his father, Luo Yuan, was the hunting department director, Luo had a certain understanding of the overall battle body situation in the camp. Currently, Great Xia has over 9,000 at the cold resistance level, but less than 300 possess top-level combat body qualification, which shows how rare it is. Then I must congratulate Brother Xiao in advance. Hearing Luo's congratulations, Xiao Hen shook his head humbly and said, Your basic strength is already 61,000, making you a lower war body. In the future, your qualification might be better than mine. At these words, Luo's eyebrows showed a hint of pride, but he quickly masked it and replied modestly, Not necessarily, Brother Xiao. Although a bit older than me, your battle body talent may not be inferior. Yes, our skin remodeling has just begun, and it may not be better than Brother Xiao's. Even if it's the superior battle body, we may not have the confidence. My talent may not be better than Brother Xiao's. My basic strength is only 58,000, not even reaching the lower war body. Luo's conversation with Xiao Hen was overheard clearly by Lu Dong, Liu Peng, Luo Cheng, and Zhu Ping, and seeing Luo comforting Xiao Hen, the four hurried to follow suit and offered their comfort. Hearing the five clearly insincere comforts, Xiao Hen inwardly chuckled. A 7-year age difference is actually quite significant. Compared to him, Luo and the others were still a bit immature. He could tell that their comforting words were an attempt to befriend him, though their acting skills were lacking. Even in offering comfort, they couldn't hide their pride, so Xiao Hen knew they probably believed their talents couldn't be inferior to his. This kind of junior behavior, Xiao Hen naturally wouldn't take seriously. He just smiled and nodded, gladly accepting their comfort. Of course, he didn't believe he was truly inferior to Luo and the others. Cultivation is like a long race. Being older doesn't mean anything. Besides, he's just 7 years older. Cold resistance level lives exceed 100 years. Xianyang level lives 200. Who can predict the future? You guys. Beep. Just as Xiao Hen was about to continue speaking, a sudden, urgent bone whistle sound came from the rear left of the snow forest, interrupting him. A single bone whistle meant encountering a cold beast. 2 whistles meant encountering a deceitful monster. 3 meant there was still time to gather supplies before retreating. 4 meant everyone had to retreat immediately, without delay. The bone whistle tradition of Great Xia's hunting team started in the first year, and has been engraved in the bones of everyone in the camp for years, so Xiao Hen and the others knew instantly. One sound, it's a cold beast. The rear left, that's Xiao Lin's team. Something's happening. Hurry over and check it out. Xiao Hen's expression changed suddenly, and he swiftly led Luo and the 5 others, turning back quickly to head in the direction of Xiao Lin's team. Chapter 1159, Chapter 396, Rescuing Lives, First Encounter with Kinking Twists and Turns. Though the 16 people were split into 3 teams, they maintained a distance of less than half a mile between each other, so they could hear the bone whistle signal smoothly. Xiao Hen led Luo and the other 5, quickly returning and searching through the snow forest following the whistle sound, soon finding Hong Yi whistling under a large tree. At the same time, Xiao Jing's team behind them also approached with tense expressions. What's the situation? Where are Xiao Lin and the other 4? However, seeing no trace of tension on Hong Yi's face, Xiao Hen and the others immediately relaxed and asked what was happening. Hong Yi put down the bone whistle and responded in a low voice, "There's something happening in the west. Xiao Lin and the other 3 are watching over there. Follow me." After speaking, he turned and headed west, with Xiao Hen's 11 people following him, full of confusion. Roars, roar. Swish, swish, swish. After walking west about 300 meters, a dense array of roars and arrow firing sounds came from nearby, causing Xiao Hen and the others' expressions to change immediately. It was obvious that someone was fighting with cold beasts. Judging by the sound, there were probably quite a few beasts. Climb the tree to see. Hong Yi quickly found a large tree and took the lead in climbing up. Xiao Hen and the 11 people had already seen Xiao Lin and the other 4 at the tree top, so they followed Hong Yi and climbed up without hesitation. The trees in the ice abyss were robust, with trunks often measuring 10 meters in diameter, and branches were 2 to 3 meters thick, so a dozen people standing on them was not crowded at all. Xiao Hen climbed to the top of the tree and looked west, his gaze immediately hardened. About 200 meters away in the snow forest, more than 30 tiger-like cold beasts with golden spots were ferociously attacking a group of people. The group, armored in iron, fully armed, numbered about 20, clearly a standard hunting party configuration. It should be the Jiangxia Town hunting team. Intermediate golden spot tigers, their strength ranges mostly between 1 to 1.3 tufts, although not as powerful as rock armor bears. They excel in agility and killing prowess, making them collectively stronger than rock armor bears. They have only 23 people, though 2 are at cold resistance level. Their strength is quite average, seemingly not even reaching 2 tufts. The remaining 21 are all at the earth-digging realm limit cultivation. Their strength appears to be less than ours. They should be Jiangxia Town's intermediate hunting team. 32 golden spot tigers, this is trouble. Without reinforcements, they'll all die. Such bad luck, not even 30 kilometers deep in there, running into a pack of golden spot tigers. Thanks to Liu Yang's years of lurking in East Ridge, information on common cold beast species within the Mo Mountain has long been recorded in the Great Xia Cold Beast Record. Plus the exploration over the past month, Xiao Hen and the others had encountered golden spot tigers before, so they could identify them at a glance. As for encountering Jiangxia Town's hunting team within the Mo Mountain range, it wasn't strange at all. The agreement between the 9 towns regarding the division of Mo Mountain hunting areas only imposed restrictions on the first 15 kilometers. Beyond that, it's up to capability. If you're unafraid of danger, you can go wherever you want. Where they stood now was about 23 kilometers deep into Mo Mountain. Encountering Jiangxia Town's hunting team was perfectly normal. However, the fact that the opposite party was being besieged by cold beast groups was truly a coincidence. People are about to die, we need to help. Upon hearing Xiao Hen's words, everyone showed a slight surprise. But soon, Luo was the first to nod in agreement. Yes, we should take action. Jiangxia has a good relationship with us now. The hunting team conflict in July caused friction between the 2 towns. If we can help save this group, it will benefit the relationship between the 2 towns. I also agree we should help. Jiangxia Town is currently supported by our Great Xia. As descendants of Great Xia, it's our duty to maintain the relationship between the 2 towns. Jiangxia might become like family with us in the future. Let's do it. I agree too, but we need to come up with a foolproof plan. The Golden Spot Tiger pack isn't weak. Relying solely on us 16 might not suffice. Luo, Zhu Ping, Luo Cheng, and other dozens of young people, although young, as their fathers held certain positions in Great Xia, naturally grasped more information than the average person, and were well informed about the current relations between the two towns. Especially Liu Peng, who could say Jiangxia might become like family with us in the future, obviously knew something from his brother Liu Yuan. However, at this moment Xiao Hin wasn't worried about this issue. He was a bit excited, as since the creation of his temporary team, such a scene had never happened before. The full team unanimously endorsed his command for the first time. This was clearly thanks to his recent change in exploration methods, causing Luo En and others to begin recognizing him as the team leader. Indeed, making decisions with different perspectives and respecting team members, opinions can gradually unite people as his father had taught. For the first time receiving the team's complete recognition, Xiao Hin's confidence was boosted. He nodded and said gravely, "Lu Dong is right, the tiger pack is too large, we need a foolproof plan." He turned to look towards the west, seeing some Jiangxia members were already killed by the tigers. Quickly pondering, he ordered Xiao Jing, "If I remember correctly, Yuan Bai's exploration team is nearby. Second brother, you go find Yuan Bai, let their team come over to help quickly. The rest of you follow me, let's first hold off the tigers for Jiangxia." Chapter 1160, Chapter 396, Saving Lives First Encounter with Kinking, A Series of Twists and Turns, Part 2. The range for this exploration competition is limited to 10 kilometers north, and all teams have been assigned specific exploration areas. Xiao Hin happens to know that Yuan Bai's team is right next to his own. "All right, I'll go right now." Xiao Jing is Xiao Hin's cousin, ranking second among the Xiao family peers of the same generation. Upon hearing Xiao Hin's words, he immediately nodded and headed straight to the east. "Stuff your ears with fabric balls, prepare your bows and arrows, let's go." Xiao Hin was not verbose. Once he made up his mind, he signaled everyone to use fabric balls to plug their ears and get their longbows ready. He then took the lead and swiftly advanced towards the pack of golden tigers, with the group closely following behind. In the golden tigers area, among the 23 people from Jiangxia town, 5 have already perished under the tiger's jaws, and the remaining 18 are mostly injured. If not for the 2 relatively strong individuals fighting desperately to shield the others, they would have been annihilated long ago. As for the Golden Tiger Pack, they initially numbered 32, and now still remain 32, except for the 8 critically injured ones that have retreated to the rear. However, even retreating to the rear, they did not leave directly but blocked the gap in the pack tightly, preventing the people of Jiangxia from breaking through. "Whiz! Kinking, run first, stop worrying about us. There are too many tigers, if this continues we'll all die here." "Go, Captain, take Kinking and break out quickly." Xiahu Kinking slashed open a golden tiger's forehead with her longsword, and upon hearing the exclamations from behind, she tightened her grip on the sword and yelled at her brother Xiahu Yang, "Live and die together. I won't leave you and run away alone." "Stop arguing. Everyone gather together, Kinking, charge with me towards those 8 critically injured golden tigers. We can break through once we get past them." Yang Shuping's voice was somewhat frantic at this moment, but as the captain with rich hunting experience, he immediately ordered Xiahu Kinking to break out with him upon spotting the only flaw in the golden tiger pack. Xiahu Kinking's 1,000-forged iron armor had been torn open with dozens of gashes by tiger claws, and the white inner lining had been stained red with blood, which clearly indicated severe injuries. Despite being young and barely in her 20s, her personality was decisive, and upon sensing slight discomfort, she tore the inner lining off directly, grabbed 2 small fabric balls, and stuffed them into her ears. With her teeth lightly clenched, she swiftly charged towards the position of the injured golden tigers with Captain Jiang Shuping. "Roar!" The pack apparently saw through their plan, and raised their heads in unison to issue a furious roar, causing the snow forest to shake instantly, and the outer layer of ice on all surrounding trees to crack and fall. Cold beasts have their unique killing moves, and golden tigers are no exception. Their unique killing move is their roar. The roar of a golden tiger can resonate with a person's eardrums and meridians, causing death within the earth-digging realm at close enough proximity. Only individuals who have begun reshaping skin at the earth-digging realm limit can withstand it to some extent. In a one-on-one situation, Xiahu Kinking, even with early-stage cold resistance cultivation, would not fear them at all. The problem now was that she faced a pack. The simultaneous roar from over 30 golden tigers left even her dazed for a moment, not to mention the remaining 16 people in the team, who were merely at the earth-digging realm limit cultivation level. With this simultaneous roar, Xia Qingqing and Jiang Shuping, although not greatly affected, managed to reach the injured golden tigers, but their remaining 16 teammates didn't fare well. Yiking, watch out! Splurred. Xia Yang noticed his friend Jiang Yiking being caught by a golden tiger's claw and immediately warned him, then swiftly drew his blade and aimed to slash at the right claw in an attempt to save his friend. Unfortunately, the golden tiger was too agile. Xia Yang had barely raised his blade before it noticed, swiftly released Jiang Yiking, and with its right claw delivered a fierce strike to Xia Yuan's face. Xia Yang's basic strength is only over 70,000 jin, incomparable to that of this golden tiger, and caught off guard while raising his blade, as expected. The tiger claw struck across his face, sending him flying dozens of meters away. Not only that, but also forcibly gouging out his left eyeball. With his eyeball brutally gouged out, Xia Yang couldn't help but scream in agony. Yang! Jiang Yiking, witnessing his friend's tragic state, instantly felt his pupils surge with blood, immediately rushing to pick up Xia Yang and retreating swiftly to the center of their group. It's over, we can't break through. Meanwhile, Jiang Shuping and Xia Qingqing, both at the cold resistance level, have retreated from the periphery as well, seeing the golden tiger pack standing firmly in place. Their breakout plan has obviously failed. These beasts have a leader. The 8 injured golden tigers keep changing positions, preventing us from getting close. Qingqing, you must. Brother. Jiang Shuping could see the dead-end situation, attempting to persuade Xia Qingqing to escape, but before he could finish, Xia Qingqing interrupted him with a grief-stricken cry. At this moment, Xia Qingqing was supporting her brother Xia Yang, clutching his blood-soaked left eye, her expression reaching the peak of panic. Brother, I was wrong. If I had known, I wouldn't have come to you. It's Qingqing who brought harm to you and everyone, boo-hoo. Perhaps witnessing such a tragic situation with her brother for the first time, Xia Qingqing soon burst into tears, her cries full of remorse. Chapter 1161, Chapter 396, Rescue in Action, First Encounter with Qingqing, a series of twists. Xia Yang was naturally optimistic. Even knowing that death was inevitable today, he didn't want his sister to feel guilty. Gritting his teeth in pain, he comforted her. It's okay, Qingqing, it's just losing my left eye. Listen to me, follow the captain and leave. When you get stronger in the future, kill a few nests of golden tigers and avenge us. Hearing her brother say this, Xia Qingqing felt even more miserable. In fact, she wasn't a member of Jiang Shuping's hunting team. She had recently made some progress in cultivation, and heard that the hunting team at Baisong Camp was being bullied by people from Great Xia, so she volunteered to come. Jiang Shuping's hunting team was just an intermediate squad, hunting in familiar territory. As long as they controlled the distance and carefully chose targets to hunt, there shouldn't be any danger. The unexpected situation today was caused by her. Just now, she repeatedly suggested that, since Great Xia's hunting team came to the Jiangxia area, they should also go to Great Xia to retaliate. Jiang Shuping initially refused but could not resist Xia Qingqing's plea, thinking about Jiangxia's recent decline. Eventually, he agreed. Unexpectedly, they had only traveled less than 2 kilometers east when they accidentally ran into this group of golden tigers, resulting in the current situation. Qingqing, quickly follow the captain and go. Don't waste time here. You are much more valuable than the rest of us. Seeing his sister still crying, Xia Yang endured the throbbing pain in his left eye and yelled furiously. He then looked up and shouted at Jiang Shuping, Captain, you take Qingqing and go. I'll hold off the tiger group with the others. He didn't wait for Jiang Shuping's response and directly turned to shout at the other members. Brothers, life and death are fated. Since we've come out to hunt, there will always be such a day. Since we are to die, let's die like men and leave some hope for Jiangxia. Let the captain take Qingqing back. The 15 team members all jolted slightly upon hearing these words. Jiang Yiking, who had just been saved by Xia Yang's sacrifice, nodded and loudly echoed, the deputy captain is right. The captain is at cold resistance level, and Qingqing's potential is better than all of ours. We must risk our lives to ensure their escape. All right. There's no point. The most we can do is protect one. We listen to the deputy captain. They, brothers, charge with me and clear a path for the captain and Qingqing. Hearing the members' successive angry roars, the captain Jiang Shuping's eyes immediately reddened. He just clenched his fists, ready to scold everyone, but Xia Yang spoke first, brandishing his big saber, and led the charge. The 15 team members, regardless of being injured or not, charged like madmen behind Xia Yang towards the Golden Tiger group. "Brother do!" Seeing her brother's action, Xia exclaimed in shock and instinctively rushed forward, but as she stepped out, Jiang Shuping beside her stopped her. "King, calm down. Don't let everyone's sacrifices be in vain." Jiang Shuping was a fourth-generation member of the Jiang family, aged over 40, with more than 10 years of hunting experience and leading teams for 7 or 8 years. This wasn't his first time facing such a situation. Despite the heart-wrenching actions of Xia Yang and the team members, he made the right decision. He himself could let it be, but Xia King's potential was vital for Jiangxia town, and she truly couldn't be allowed to die here. "Follow me." The desperate efforts of Xia Yang and the 16 members were indeed strong, and they managed to open a small gap in the Golden Tiger group. Seeing this, Jiang Shuping immediately took Xia King, trying to escape through the opening. Roar! Although their movements were fast, just as they were about to rush out of the gap, the Golden Tiger group repeated their tactic and roared in unison. Jiang Shuping and Xia King were instantly dizzy, their steps slowed by several times. Immediately, a muscular golden tiger suddenly pounced from the back of the tiger group, its sharp golden claws aimed straight at Xia King's head. Rip! The golden tiger was not just skilled in roaring, its fan-like golden sharp claws were also deadly weapons. The claws swept through the air, tearing out 3 golden beams in the night. The terrifying power could be judged by the piercing screech it made tearing through the air. King, be careful. Just as the claws were about to reach her head, as a look of terror appeared on Xia King's face, her brother Xia Yang exhausted himself to stand in front of her. Brother! The scene in front of Xia King was actually not unfamiliar. When her father Xia Lin died, she was just over 5 years old. At the time, her brother Xia Yang was already 13, and from childhood to adulthood, no matter what, her brother Xia Yang always put himself in front of her first. But how could previous situations compare to what was happening now? She dared not face the Golden Tiger's claw head-on. With Xia Yang's strength of over 70,000 caddies, being hit meant certain death. Fear filled Xia King's eyes as she frantically stretched to try to pull Xia Yang back, but everything happened so fast, she simply couldn't make it in time. Don't! Whoosh! Just at the critical moment, a silver iron arrow suddenly shot from the eastern snow forest straight into the left eye of the Golden Tiger that was swinging its claw. Roar! With a squelching sound, the power of the silver iron arrow was extremely strong, more than half of its over 70-centimeter length embedded into the target. The Golden Tiger's left eye immediately burst with blood, letting out a painful roar and even retracting its paw. Chapter 1162, Chapter 396, Rescuing Lives, First Encounter with King, Twists and Turns, Part 4. Spread out, shoot arrows to rescue. Brothers of Jiangxia, hurry and run towards us quick. Xia King was full of joy seeing her brother being rescued. Hearing the voice coming from the east, she immediately took her brother Xia Yang and followed Jiang Shuping towards the east. Of course, it wasn't just the 3 of them. Jiang Yiking and the other 14 team members also headed towards the east at once. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. Countless iron arrows whizzed in from all directions. Although they couldn't hit the pupils accurately like the first arrow, they did cause considerable trouble for the Golden Tigers, and for a moment they indeed managed to rescue the 18 people of Jiangxia. Golden Armor, it's the hunting team of Great Xia. We're saved. Wait, there are too few people, only 15. Only 1 cold resistance level. Wait, not even 1. Jiang Shuping led everyone to the east, and immediately saw clearly that 15 people clad in golden armor and wielding strong bows were scattered on 5 or 6 large trees, shooting wildly at the Golden Tigers. The situation was quite urgent, so he didn't have time to look closely. He only observed the cultivation of the people slightly and found that all 15 were at the earth-digging realm limit, with not a single cold resistance level, which instantly made his expression quite grim. Jiang Shuping, captain of Jiangxia Town Base on Camp's hunting team, thanks everyone from Great Xia for rescuing us, but the number of Golden Tigers is a bit too much. We should retreat first. Zio Hen from Great Xia, there's no escaping now, Captain Jiang. Let's join hands to fend off these beasts. I've already sent team members to gather others. Reinforcements will arrive soon. Just hold on for a moment. Hearing Xia Hong, Jiang Shuping turned his head and realized the golden tigers were already charging over, and not only had they surrounded them, but also surprisingly the 15 from Great Xia. However, his expression wasn't as grim as before, since Xia Hong had said reinforcements were on the way. Yiking, you take care of the wounded in the center. Kinking and the others who can move, join me in holding back these beasts with our brothers from Great Xia. Jiang Shuping reacted quickly, immediately ordering his team. Then he led Xia Kinking and the others who were not injured to resist the steadily attacking golden tigers. All arrows have been shot, gather together and just hold the line. Xia Hong and the others shot arrows to help Jiang Shuping and the others break through, so they almost emptied the arrow quiver in one go. Seeing the golden tigers had surrounded them all, and some even started climbing trees to chase them, he immediately ordered everyone to jump down and gather together. 15 people jumped down from the trees and stood alongside Jiang Shuping and other Jiangxia members, joining forces to battle the golden tigers. With increased numbers, the pressure on Jiang Shuping and the others was significantly reduced. As for Xia Kinking, there's no need to mention it. Her basic strength had already reached 110,000 pounds, and her individual power was not weaker than these golden tigers. The pressure eased significantly, allowing her to seize opportunities to wound these golden tigers. Remembering how her brother Xia Yang's left eye was blinded by these beasts, Xia Kinking's eyes were filled with hatred. Seeing a golden tiger with its right eye shot blind still coming over, she seized the moment and fiercely twisted her longsword, stabbing it into the golden tiger's left eye. Thud. Tear. Her longsword successfully pierced the golden tiger's left eye, with half of the blade driven in. However, at the same time, another golden tiger's claws were swiping towards her face. Her lack of combat experience was evident. Instead of letting go, she tried to retrieve her longsword from the golden tiger's left eye. In life-and-death combat, timing and decision-making is crucial. This oversight was basically a fatal mistake. Seeing the golden tiger's claws only half a meter away from her face, Xia Kinking's face was instantly filled with terror. After all, she was just in her early 20s and unmarried. If clawed, she wouldn't die but would certainly be disfigured. Bang! A loud explosion sounded, and the golden tiger's claws ultimately did not manage to strike her face. It turned out that someone from Great Xia, clad in golden armor, had collided with the golden tiger from the side, knocking it away. Miss, be careful. Thank you, Captain Xio. Upon hearing the voice, Xia Kinking immediately recognized it as Xia Hong, who had just spoken with Jiang Shuping. She hurriedly cupped her hands to express her gratitude. However, when Xia Hong turned his head, she got a clear look at his face and was momentarily stunned. So young. Initially, when she heard Xia Hong conversing with Jiang Shuping, she thought Xia Hong was about the same age as Jiang Shuping, and assumed he was also a captain of Great Xia's hunting team, which is why she addressed him as such. But Xia Hong's face clearly belonged to someone only in their early 20s, surprisingly about the same age as herself. This Xia Hong must also be a talent figure in Great Xia. Xia Kinking was quite aware of her own talent. Although she hadn't yet broken through to the cold resistance level, her basic strength was already 110,000 pounds, confirming her to have a top-level combat body qualification. This was also why her brother Xia Yang and others had fought desperately to protect her. The skill Xia Hong had just demonstrated in knocking away the golden tiger surely showcased strength above 90,000 pounds. Considering his age and that he hadn't yet reached the cold resistance level, Xia Kinking naturally harbored this thought in her mind. But this was not the time for curiosity, as everyone continued to actively resist. However, the encirclement of the golden tigers was shrinking more and smaller. Chapter 1163, Chapter 396, Saving the Group, First Encounter with Kinking, Twists and Turns, Part 5. Brother Xio, why haven't the reinforcements? Whoosh! In his urgency, Jiang Shuping couldn't help but ask Xia Hong why the reinforcements hadn't arrived yet. However, before he could finish his sentence, a silver iron arrow flying in from a distance interrupted him. The silver iron arrow was well prepared, shooting right into the throat of a golden tiger. The golden tiger's throat was pierced, and it immediately tried to roar, but after tilting its head back, it staggered, letting out only a very small roar. I almost forgot, The weakness of the golden tiger is its throat. Everyone, as long as you can wound its throat, its ferocity will be cut in half. The golden tigers are one of the most common types of cold beasts in the Jiangxia hunting area, so Jiang Shuping was very familiar with its weakness. However, having been besieged by the tiger pack, his mind was in disarray, and he momentarily forgot to remind everyone. Now that he remembered, he hurriedly shouted to alert the others. Xia Hong, I'll clear the path for you, take everyone and run in my direction. The reinforcements are here. More than 20 great Xia people clad in golden armor arrived. Leading them was a burly man, about the same age as Xia Hong, none other than Yuan Bai, who was leading a team exploring the nearby area. Xia Hong truly rose to fame in Xia City during the second year of Great Xia, when he broke into the top 100 during the martial arts competition in the Logging Realm group, ranking 18th. That year Yuan Bai also made it into the top 100, ranking 9th, even higher than him. Looking back, the annual martial arts competition was essentially a talent assessment. Those who made it into the top 100 and the top 10 each year quickly made a name for themselves in the camp. Yuan Bai, a year older than Xia Hong, was also at the earth-digging realm limit, but his basic strength had already reached 99,000 pounds. It was said that he was always trying to break through to a superior battle body, which is why he deliberately held back from advancing. Yuan Bai and the other 20 made the same move as Xia Hong earlier, using bow and arrow to tear open a gap in the golden tiger pack's encirclement. Then Xia Hong, Jiang Shuping, and others once again escaped through that gap and regrouped with Yuan Bai and his 20-plus men. Do they still dare to chase? With Yuan Bai and his group arriving, their total number exceeded 50. The golden tiger pack had been entangled for so long, suffering significant losses, and now only 27 remained. They shouldn't be pursuing any further. However, this golden tiger pack was still relentlessly chasing after them. Seeing the unusual behavior of the golden tiger pack, Xia Hong's brow furrowed. Something's off. Did this golden tiger pack take the wrong medicine? Hurry and run, I feel something's wrong. Xia Hong took over Yuan Bai's statement, directly signaling everyone to hurry up and escape. They had already broken out of the encirclement. As long as they kept heading east and met with other exploration teams, with the increasing numbers, the tiger pack would naturally no longer be a threat. Even if they could encounter the camp's advanced hunting team, this golden tiger pack would be no problem at all. Hurry and run, the injured go first, will cover the rear. Yuan Bai naturally understood this principle and immediately made arrangements. Xia Hong and the others had been fighting the golden tiger pack for a long time and were injured. Their team had just arrived and was in full strength, naturally making them fit to cover the retreat. Over 50 people quickly formed a formation and fled rapidly towards the east side. Roared. Unfortunately, they hadn't fled more than 100 meters east when a deep tiger roar erupted in front of the snow forest. As the tiger roar echoed, the over 50 people fleeing swiftly all had their pupils flash with a trace of muddiness, and some of the injured even spat out fresh blood, with wounds on their skin membrane spreading rapidly. What is this? Look ahead quickly. Stop, don't run anymore. It's an advanced golden spot tiger, it's over. How can there be an advanced cold beast here? Being the first to regain clarity, Jiang Shuping's face was instantly filled with despair, and upon hearing the others' confusion, he immediately spoke in a deep voice to explain. To verify his words, after Luo En's final question, everyone looked towards the east ahead, their expressions instantly solidifying. On a large tree 50 to 60 meters ahead, there was a fierce tiger over a meter long, shimmering with a golden glow, staring at them with wide, blood-red eyes. Advanced golden spot tiger, with a strength of at least 15 tufts. Chapter 1164, Chapter 397, Narrow Escape, Shock, Emergence of the Top-Grade War Body. The moment the advanced golden spot tiger appeared, not only did Jiang Shuping's expression turn to despair, but so did Xia Hong and Yuan Bai's, along with the rest of the great Xia people they each led. Although their abilities were decent, they weren't arrogant enough to think they could handle an advanced golden spot tiger with a minimum strength of 15 manes. Didn't the hunting journal from Bashing Town say that there were basically no advanced cold beasts within 40 kilometers? How did an advanced golden spot tiger suddenly appear? A few days ago, over 100 advanced teams came, and they only managed to hunt down 7 advanced cold beasts in total. Our luck is really down. We're certainly doomed now. Should we split up and run? That's the only option. Splitting up might save a few of us. Everyone shut up. Yuan Bai's authority within the team was apparently much higher than Xia Hong's. Seeing others starting to debate and even come up with ideas, he immediately turned and angrily ordered everyone to shut up, then turned to Xia Hong with a grim face and continued, "Xia Hong, we can't disperse. The golden spot tiger is known for its speed. Dispersing will only get us killed faster. Before I came, I already sent someone to notify Jai Hong. We have to hold on for a while. Maybe there's a way out." Having learned from Xiao Jing that there were over 30 intermediate golden spot tigers, Yuan Bai naturally wouldn't recklessly bring his team over. There was also an exploration team nearby, led by Jai Hong. Before coming, he sent a team member to seek help from Jai Hong. "Jai Hong, good, let's team up and hold out for a while." Hearing Jai Hong's name, Xiao Hong's expression slightly lifted, immediately nodding, then turning to Jiang Shuping beside him and said, "Captain Jiang, we can only hold out for a while. If we hold out until reinforcements arrive, we might survive." Jiang Shuping was already panicking. Hearing Xiao Hong's words, he could only nod in agreement. Roar! While the group was discussing, the advanced golden spot tiger had gotten closer and closer. When it was only 20 or 30 meters away, it roared again. A tiger's roar echoed through the snow forest, making the surrounding trees tremble incessantly, and the snow on the ground scattered outward, leaving everyone in disarray. Not to mention resisting, even holding their weapons tightly became difficult. "How can we hold out like this? It's over." Xiao Hong's expression grew extremely grim. The strength of the advanced golden spot tiger clearly exceeded his expectations. This was just a roar, and if the golden spot tiger truly attacked, they probably wouldn't last even a moment. The advanced golden spot tiger's muscles suddenly swelled while roaring, its body length rapidly growing from 1 meter to over 30 meters, its powerful limbs like gigantic pillars holding up the sky, its huge body crouching low while letting out a growl, its blood-red eyes fixed on them, and its long, razor-sharp white tusks quivering slightly, as if it was ready to pounce on them in the next second. The strength of an advanced golden spot tiger is judged by the amount of gold on its fur, and this one's fur is almost completely golden. Its power is probably... Jiang Shuping's voice of despair rang out again, but this time, he was interrupted by the actions of the advanced golden spot tiger. Be precise, it was the action of the entire tiger group that interrupted him. The 30-meter-long advanced golden spot tiger's blood-red eyes suddenly widened, and its ready-to-pounce movement abruptly stopped, suddenly turning its head to look northward. Not only it, but the remaining 20 golden spot tigers also made the same move. They seemed to sense something in the north, their eyes suddenly filled with an intense greed and desire. There's fire in the north." "What is that?" "It's fire. This tiger group seems to have been attracted by the fire." "It probably isn't the fire attracting them, right? Is there something near the fire?" Yang Shuping, Zaihu Qingqing, and the rest of Jiangxia quickly discovered a fire source 100 meters away to the north, exclaiming in low voices, their expressions both joyful and surprised. They weren't the only ones to discover the fire source. Xiao Hong, Yuan Bai, Luoen, and the rest of the great Xia also noticed it early on, but they seemed to know exactly what the fire source was, showing only joy in their eyes. Roar! Beep, 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 beep. The advanced golden spot tiger let out a low roar, transforming into a golden wind as it quickly lunged towards the fire source, followed closely by the other 20 or so golden spot tigers, galloping southward. A series of rapid bone whistle sounds on the east side almost coincided with the low roar of the golden spot tiger. Hearing the whistles, Yuan Bai's face was suddenly filled with delight. "Jai Hong's team is here. It must be them. Don't waste time, run." Xiao Hong reacted extremely quickly, first startlingly reminding everyone, then leading the charge to dash eastward, with the rest scrambling to follow. They narrowly escaped death, hardly daring to waste a moment as they ran 3 or 4 miles east, not stopping until the firelight was no longer visible. "Advanced golden spot tiger, you too are quite courageous." Just as over 50 people were about to catch their breath under a tree, a team came running from the east. The lead figure, appearing about 24 or 5, was burly, with an air of arrogance between his brows, and he approached the panting crowd to tease Xiao Hong and Yuan Bai. Yuan Bai's team members were chuckling bitterly, turning to Xiao Hen. While Xiao Hen, Luo En, and others wore similar expressions, their gaze shifting to Jiangxia's group. Yang Shuping, still immersed in the ecstasy of a narrow escape, saw everyone looking his way, immediately walked up to Xiao Hen, full of gratitude, clasped his hands and said, "Brother Xiao." Chapter 1165, Chapter 397, Narrow Escape, Shock, Appearance in the Top-Grade War Body 2. As soon as he uttered "Brother Xiao," Jiang Shuping's expression froze. He realized something and carefully looked at Yuan Bai and the newly appeared Xia Hong. His expression instantly became dazed, and he then looked at the rest of the people from Great Xia, all clad in golden armor, and his pupils couldn't stop trembling. How could they be so young? It turned out that the situation was too urgent earlier, and with the entire Great Xia team dressed in golden armor and helmets, Jiang Shuping couldn't see Xiao Hen, Yuan Bai, and the others clearly at all. Now that the crisis was over, he relaxed and took a closer look, only to find that Xiao Hen, Yuan Bai, and the newly arrived Xia Hong were all in their 20s, with Xia Hong looking the oldest at no more than 24 or 25. It wasn't just the three of them. Crucially, the rest following the three appeared even younger, such as Luo En, Liu Peng, Lu Dong, and others, who clearly looked only 16 or 17, just a group of youngsters. Jiang Shuping himself was already 43 years old, and at his age, he could have easily fathered these young people. During the fight, he didn't see Xiao Hen's appearance clearly and called him Brother Xiao without hesitation. Now, seeing Xiao Hen's age, he couldn't bring himself to utter the words Brother Xiao anymore. It wasn't just him. Everyone from Jiangxia now realized that Xiao Hen and the others were incredibly young, all with astonished expressions on their faces. "Captain Jiang, just call me Xiao Hen." Xiao Hen noticed his confusion and spoke with a smile. Xiao Hen wasn't the only one who noticed the change in Jiangxia people's expressions. Yuan Bai, Xia Hong, and others also realized it, and they naturally understood the reason, showing a hint of pride on their faces. "Xiao Hen, young brother, and all you brilliant talents of Great Xia, thank you for saving my life tonight. I will surely repay you generously in the future." Yang Shuping was stammering a bit, clearly at a loss for words. There were a total of 59 people from Great Xia, and it was clear to him that the oldest was Xia Hong standing right in front of him, while the others were mostly around 20, with some even as young as 16 or 17. The crux was their cultivation. "Captain Jiang, you've been too kind. When friends run into trouble, how can we stand idly by? Our two towns are now as close as one family. To talk about repayment is too distant. In the future, if you encounter any of us from Great Xia in the snow forest facing difficulties, just lend a helping hand in return." Xiao Hen, the initiator of helping Jiangxia this time, naturally took the opportunity to respond to Jiang Shuping. After his appropriate speech, the gratitude on Jiang Shuping and the others' faces grew even stronger. "May I ask who these two brilliant talents are?" "I am Yuan Bai from Great Xia. I have met Captain Jiang." "Xia Hong from Great Xia." Jiang Shuping lowered his head and pondered for a moment, then spoke in a slightly speculative tone. "I dare to ask, young brother Xiao Hen, are you the son of the He Yin Guard commander, Lord Xiao Qingcheng? And you, young brother Yuan Bai, share a surname with Director Yuan Cheng of Great Xia's garrison department. Are you from the same family?" If they all had backgrounds, it would be understandable that they possessed such high innate talents. Yang Shuping didn't notice that after he asked, people from Great Xia guessed his inner thoughts, and their expressions became a bit peculiar. "Xiao Qingcheng is indeed my father." After Xiao Hen replied, Yuan Bai quickly shook his head and said, "Although the Lord Yuan and I share the same surname, we are not from the same family. Captain Jiang, you've misunderstood." Xia Hong casually cast a glance at Luo En and the others, a smile appearing in his eyes. Jiang Shuping clearly mistook Xiao Hen as a child of Great Xia's high officials, but he was unaware that the backgrounds of Luo En, Liu Peng, Lu Dong, and Hong Yi were no less impressive. "So that's the renowned lineage, no wonder. I shall visit personally with Qingqing and the others to express our thanks." Hearing that only Xiao Hen had a notable background, Jiang Shuping was momentarily stunned. Although he still wanted to inquire further about Luo En and the others' origins, now was clearly not the right time. "The group of golden tigers is very close to here, and the crisis remains. We need to return to He Yin to notify the advanced hunting team to come and handle it. I noticed your people are seriously injured." Captain Jiang, it'd be best to return to base on camp as soon as possible. Out of the 18 people in Jiangxia, half were injured, and the young man carried by Xia Hong was still unconscious, clearly not suited to remain longer in the snow forest. Zhang Shuping, understanding this, nodded at Xia Hong and the others, saying, "Then I bid you farewell and once again thank you, young brothers." "Thank you all." Xia Hong, along with the rest of Jiangxia's people, also bowed with Jiang Shuping to express their gratitude. If not for the timely assistance of Xia Hong and the others, their lives would have surely been lost here, and they spoke with genuine gratitude in their tone. After giving their thanks, Jiang Shuping promptly led his group toward the western side, namely, the outer areas of the snow forest, quickly withdrawing. "Uncle Ping, did you see clearly what strength that Xia Hong possesses?" The 18 people ran wordlessly westward for 3 or 4 kilometers, confirming their safety. Xia Hong, carrying her brother, finally couldn't resist asking Jiang Shuping the confusion in her heart. Her basic strength had already reached 110,000 jin. Most of Great Xia's more than 50 people, she could roughly discern their strength. She had seen Xia Hong in action earlier, and he should possess more than 90,000 jin. Yuan Bai, although he hadn't acted, could be sensed from the muscles that he exceeded 100,000 jin, not far from her own. As for the others, their basic strength was mostly over 50,000 jin, all at the stage of reshaping skin. Chapter 1166, Chapter 397, Narrow Escape from Death, Shock, and the Emergence of the Top-Grade War Body /3. Only that Xia Hong she cannot see through. 150,000, it should be just short of 150,000. That Xia Hong must be deliberately holding back from breaking through, aiming for a top-grade battle body. Jiang Shuping held it in his heart for a long time, and finally couldn't help but speak. The people of Jiangxia heard this, and their pupils suddenly showed a trace of surprise. Of course, including Xia Hong. Top-grade battle body. Upon hearing this, Xia Hong's pupils shook uncontrollably. Although her basic strength has already exceeded 110,000 pounds, she can feel herself already at the limit. Achieving a top-grade battle body is surely out of the question. Jiang Shuping lowered his voice and asked everyone, "That Xia Hong is not the issue. Didn't you notice the age of those from Great Xia?" This question, once thrown out, immediately opened everyone's chat, and the team members spoke with surprise. "I noticed earlier, their age is under 20 on average. Not just that, some are very young, I estimate at most 16. I noticed too, many are younger than Kinking. Our Great Xia youths all so talented. It's understandable if they have backgrounds, but the captain just asked, only that Xia Hong has some background. If Yuan Bai had a connection with Director Yuan, he wouldn't hide it from us. And Xia Hong, there seems to be no one with the surname Xia in Great Xia's senior ranks. Seemingly, he truly has no background. Impossible, are all Great Xia youths like this? It shouldn't be. If it is, what a state would that be? I've observed those youths, they all carry a bit of arrogance, most likely have some background. It's just under the circumstances we couldn't inquire in detail. We might have stumbled upon some genius team from Great Xia." Xia Hong realized what everyone was saying. The group of more than 50 from Great Xia they just encountered were indeed absurdly young. Being so young aside, their strength was undeniably strong. Aged 15 or 16 with earth-digging realm limit strength, Jiangxia is not without such individuals, like herself, for instance. The problem is people like that are precious in Jiangxia town, cherished enough to keep them in the town all day, hardly letting them venture out into snow forest to hunt, especially in groups. It seems the many rumors about Great Xia are not baseless. Upon hearing Jiang Shuping's remark, Xia Hong and the others immediately turned to look at him, faces full of curiosity. Seeing everyone's gaze, Jiang Shuping continued in a deep voice, "Rumor has it Great Xia has risen for only 10 years. Presently known are 4 directors. Yuan Dao, Yuan Cheng, Qiu Peng, Luo Yuan, the eldest being Luo Yuan, yet still under 40 among them, director of the military department, commander of the Dragon Martial Army. Yuan Dao is not yet 27 years old this year." Gulp. Upon hearing this, the team suddenly produced the sound of swallowing. Everyone's expressions froze, including Xia Hong, who always considered herself highly talented. Now her face stiffened, pupils full of shock. Still, Jiang Shuping continued. "Great Xia oversees 8 departments, second only to one man, Minister Xia Chuan, rumored to be of the same age as Yuan Dao. Yang Shuping paused and turned to everyone, asking softly, "That Xia Chuan is the brother of Lord Xia Hong. He is only 26 years old. Guess how old his elder brother is this year." "How is this possible?" Zaihu Kingking's shock in her pupils reached a climax. Her tone stuttered slightly. Of course, it wasn't just her. The rest of the team were equally astonished and filled with disbelief. It said the 8 departments directors of Great Xia all have a strength generally over 40 long, with Yuan Dao and Minister Xia Chuan likely over 50 long. At 26 or 27 years old, how could it be? How is this possible? That's Xia Hong, currently the first person of Mo. Xia Chuan is only 26 years old this year. He's Xia Chuan's elder brother. How old? 30. Just over 30. Even if 40, it seems unlikely. My brother works in the chamber. He's visited Hongmen City. He says not only Minister Xia Chuan, but Tower Master Q of the Treasure Tower, also the Camp Supply Department Director Q Peng, both appear to be in their early 20s. How can this be? The team was full of incredulous voices, and truth be told, even Jiang Shuping held doubt towards those rumors. Jiangxia Town, standing in Mo Mountain for many years, has formed common understandings on many matters. Regarding age, a basic perception exists. Unless in special cases, the lords of each town and those Xianyang-level experts are usually above 100 years old. These are the backbones. The core high level in towns, ages at least in their 70s or 80s. Anyone who reaches core levels in their 50s or 60s can be considered youthful. Below them, ordinary senior levels are generally people in their 50s or 60s. This fits their usual understanding. Currently, Jiangxia Town operates similarly. Jiangxia first generation, namely Jiang Yinglong, Zaihu Ming and their contemporaries, have all passed away. Presently those administering are all second-generation descendants. The Zaihu family led by Lord Zaihu Zhang, currently seen as the mainstay of Jiangxia Town. The Jiang family recognizing Jiang Xinfan at 92 years old as town chief, with ages mostly over 80. This group regarded as core high level. Chapter 1167, Chapter 397, Narrow Escape from Death, Shock, Emergence, and the Top-Grade War Body, Part 4. The third generation of the Zaihu family is represented by Zaihu Ying, while the Jiang family's leading figures are Jiang Yuanlong and Jiang Yuandong, both of whom are around 60 years old, making them the regular upper echelon. Then comes the fourth generation, among whom Jiang Shuping is one, around 40 years old. Except for the very few with exceptional talent who have mingled into the upper echelon, the majority, like Jiang Shuping, serve as mainstays in various institutions of the town, forming the backbone of the young and strong in Jiangxia Town. Zaihu Kingking is Zaihu Zhang's great-granddaughter, 21 years old this year, already belonging to the fifth generation. If that's really the case, then the potential of Great Xia is incredibly high, isn't it? If these rumors are true, then it's not surprising at all that those young people's talents are so high. I don't believe it. It can't be true. Surely it's just a rumor. All right, stop guessing wildly here. Why not just find someone to inquire about it when you get back? I also heard about it from others. Next time I go back to the town, I'll also find someone to ask. Yang Shuping interrupted everyone's speculations and noticed Zaihu Kingking's somewhat distracted expression. After a moment of thought, he said, "Kingking, regardless of whether the rumors about Great Xia are true, at the very least, the more than 50 young people we just saw from Great Xia have many whose talents are probably stronger than yours. When you go back, you must train diligently. Jiangxia is already on the brink of collapse, and the Lord is counting on you talented young people to grow up quickly. Otherwise, whether we can maintain our current status in the future is uncertain." Upon hearing Jiang Shuping's words, everyone's expressions immediately turned more solemn. "I understand, Uncle Ping." Zaihu Kingking nodded with a serious expression, and glancing at her unconscious brother on her back, her eyes filled with increased determination. The talents of those young people from Great Xia need not even be mentioned. Just the incident where her brother Zaihu Yang lost his left eye from this encounter in the snow forest was enough to leave an indelible mark on her heart. There are countless treasures in the ice abyss. It's not impossible to restore the eyes. I must strive to train hard and after becoming stronger, help my brother regain his left eye. After silently vowing, Zaihu Kingking followed the group towards the Baisong camp. As she exited the snow forest, Zio Hen's face inexplicably flashed in her mind. That Zio Hen did save my life just now. When Uncle Ping visits He Yin later, I must go with him to thank Zio Hen. They. Jai Hong, how much are you short of 15,000 pounds in your basic strength? More than 100 pounds, and I just can't seem to increase it further. Inside the snow forest, after the people from Jiangxia left, Zio Hen couldn't help but ask Jai Hong, and upon hearing that Jai Hong was just over 100 pounds short, a strong envy appeared on his face. Of course, he's not the only one. Yuan Bai, Luoan, Liu Peng, Zhu Ping, Lu Dong, and others, all the young people from Great Xia, basically had expressions of envy on their faces. If Jiang Shuping's earlier words had been heard by Zio Hen and the others, they probably couldn't help but commend Jiang Shuping for his accurate insight. Jiang Shuping's speculation was indeed correct. 24-year-old Jai Hong has been slow to break through to the cold resistance level, as he is indeed aiming for the top-grade battle body qualification. The fact that Jai Hong is striving for top-grade battle body qualification had long been spread, almost known by everyone in the inner city. Jai Hong was an old figure from the mud slope period of Great Xia and already had a decent reputation in the camp, but his cultivation speed was rather average, so he had always been lukewarm, just known to have existed. In the first martial arts competition of the second year of Great Xia, Jai Hong secured third place in the logging realm group, instantly gaining fame, and thus began his rise. In just 6 years, he went from just breaking through the earth-digging realm, cultivating to the earth-digging realm limit, and then started using beast blood to reshape his skin. That year, the first-place Tai Xinchuan and second-place Zhou Yalong from the same martial arts competition group as him, both broke through with superior battle body qualifications, yet he remained stagnant. Initially, everyone thought he had reached his talent limit. Who would have thought that in this year's martial arts competition, in the earth-digging realm limit group, he would continuously defeat dozens of opponents who had just broken through to the cold resistance level, making it into the top 100 of that group, finishing at the 42nd place. This year's Great Xia martial arts competition, now in its 7th session, has seen numerous changes to its rules over the years. With the increasing number of cold resistance level and earth-digging realm participants in Great Xia, Qiu Peng added the earth-digging realm limit group last year, so there are now 4 groups: cold resistance level, earth-digging realm limit, earth-digging realm, and logging realm. All 4 groups take the top 100 participants. Given Great Xia's current population and cultivation situation, anyone who makes it into the top 100 of any group can be called a dragon among men, especially for the more competitive earth-digging realm limit group, with Jai Hong's rank being relatively high. The rewards for the martial arts competition every year are very generous, and now all the contestants have gotten smarter. Almost all come with cultivation just at the edge of a breakthrough, and many of them break through during the competition, just to get a good rank. With earth-digging realm limit cultivation, Jai Hong kept defeating so many opponents at the cold resistance level who had just broken through, while he himself hasn't. Observant people can naturally see that he deliberately avoided breaking through to aim for the top-grade battle body qualification. Chapter 1168, Chapter 397, Narrow Escape, Shock, Appearance in Top-Grade War Body /5. The reason for intentionally not breaking through the earth-digging realm limit is conditional. Not everyone can hold back. If your innate talent and aptitude are insufficient, no matter how much you can endure the pain of reshaping skin, eventually your potential will be exhausted and you will automatically break through. Being able to intentionally hold back from breaking through is itself a testament to one's aptitude. So everyone is waiting to see if Jai Hong can really break through. Top-grade battle body qualification is truly rare. Currently, the well-known top-grade battle body qualifications in the Great Xia include the Lord and the Lord Lady, as well as Minister Xia Chuan and Director of the Military Department Yuan Dao. If Jai Hong breaks through in their eyes, he will undoubtedly become the 5th person. Of course, that is the perception of most people in the Great Xia. People like Zio Hen, Luoan, Zhu Ping, Lu Dong, and Liu Peng, who have lived in the inner city for a long time and generally have some background, know a bit more than others. My brother, Director Yuan, and Director Su are said to have received precious treasures from the Lord's rewards and are now also top-grade battle bodies. Moreover, the minister's 2 sons were born with holy patterns, very likely making them top-grade battle bodies as well. Of course, the 2 young princes have even higher aptitude. Lu Dong muttered to himself, but looking at Jai Hong, his eyes still held deep admiration. Even counting these people, there are only 11. In Great Xia, top-grade battle body qualification remains as rare as a phoenix's feather or a unicorn's horn. And Xia Hong is about to become the next one. How can they not be envious? Don't look at me like that. To be honest, I'm not sure if I can gain the last 100 or so pounds of basic strength. My potential has basically reached its limit. If I fail to break through, I'm afraid a lot of people in the inner city will laugh at me. Seeing the eyes of Xia Hong, Yuan Bai, and others, Xia Hong shook his head repeatedly, his face full of helplessness. He was not seeing such gazes for the first time. Initially, he somewhat enjoyed it, but as it became increasingly difficult to increase basic strength, seeing such gazes again brought only burden and anxiety to him. The crowd, hearing this, knew Xia Hong was under significant pressure, and their expressions suddenly became more restrained. Under normal circumstances, with your aptitude, it wouldn't be possible, but today your luck is not too bad. Midst the silent atmosphere, a voice suddenly came from behind the snow forest. More than 50 people immediately turned their gaze towards the rear. Behind, more than 100 meters away, 3 figures, one in front and 2 behind, were slowly approaching them. Due to the distance, they couldn't see the faces of the 3 people clearly, so the crowd simply kept their wary gazes fixed. But as the 3 gradually approached, the expressions of Xia Hong, Yuan Bai, Xia Hong, and the other 50-odd individuals all turned excited. Greetings, Lord Su, Lord Xio. Greetings, Lord Su, Lord Xio. Before the 3 distant figures approached, the crowd, in their overwhelming excitement, quickly lowered their weapons and respectfully bowed to the 3, their voices noticeably tinged with a slight tremor. The one in the center of the 3, dressed in black and wearing a faint smile, with a characteristic long and short narrow blade hanging from his waist, could only be Lord Xia Hong. The person to Xia Hong's left, appearing to be under 30, holding a longsword and dressed in a crimson regular jacket embroidered with a ferocious golden-eyed demon sheep, was none other than Deputy Director of the Supervision Department of Bashang, Lord Su Ning. The person to the right looked slightly older, appearing about 50, also wearing a crimson regular jacket embroidered with a blue frost wolf, was Xia Hong's father, Xia Qingcheng, who served as both the Mountain Yu of the Bashing Hunting Bureau and the He Yin Guard commander. You may rise. After getting closer with the other 2, Xia Hong smiled and signaled for everyone to stand up. Even after standing up, the crowd's expressions remained excited, clearly not expecting to encounter the Lord himself in the snow forest. You've been watching for half a day, you reckless youngsters. Without assessing the situation, you recklessly risked your lives to save others and dared provoke an advanced golden spot tiger. If the Lord hadn't sensed it, you all wouldn't have survived. Seeing his son's excited face, Xia Qingcheng couldn't help but reprimand him. Upon hearing this, Xia Hong immediately shrank his head, and the others also realized that Xia Hong and the other 2 had been silently watching from the shadows. While a sense of warmth passed through their hearts, their expressions inevitably turned anxious. Xia Hong did well. Knowing to use a small torch to lure the enemy and save others, you youngsters have had it too easy in the inner city. Once outside in the snow forest, you'll know what it's like to fight cold beasts, forgetting all the teachings from the camp. Su Ning first praised Xia Hong, then looked at Xia Hong, Yuan Bai, and others, shaking his head incessantly. Xia Hong, hearing the praise, showed no particular reaction, but his eyes were burning as he stared at Xia Hong, clearly anticipating something. Under normal circumstances, with your aptitude, it wouldn't be possible, but today your luck is not too bad. This was what Xia Hong had said just now. Xia Hong was also aware of Director Yuan, Su Ning, and Lu Dong being transformed into top-grade battle bodies. Upon hearing Xia Hong say this, how could he not feel expectant? Chapter 1169, Chapter 398, Rewards and Generosity, 3 towns unite in pressuring. You must have used many kinds of beast blood, haven't you? Xia Hong naturally noticed Xia Hong's gaze and smiled as he asked. Xia Hong nodded heavily and answered with cupped hands, Lord, when my basic strength reached 120,000 pounds, it became very difficult to improve further. The blood of common winter beasts in the Longyu region like snow mane, frost wolf, and demon sheep had no effect on my skin membrane anymore. I had to search for other types of beast blood. Up to now, I have used 74 kinds of beast blood. There are only 76 kinds of cold beasts recorded in the Great Xia Cold Beast Record. Wow, you've tried almost all the beast blood types. Upon hearing Jia Hong's words, the crowd's faces were filled with astonishment, and Xiao Kengcheng couldn't help but voice his disbelief, his tone full of awe. The human body builds immunity to the same type of beast meat over time. If one cultivates using only one type of beast meat, they will eventually be unable to convert the meat's energy. Therefore, everyone in the camp tries to use different types of beast meat for cultivation. After years of relentless research in Great Xia, with the increasing number of Earth-digging realm limit samples, it is now understood that beast blood works similarly to beast meat. The skin membrane also builds immunity to a single type of beast blood, so once a certain type reaches its enhancement limit, it is necessary to switch to another type of beast blood. Furthermore, beast blood varies in quality. For instance, high-level beast blood is many times more effective than intermediate-level beast blood. Even higher, the Beast King level blood not only has a stronger effect, but can also enhance potential to some extent once the skin membrane becomes completely immune to ordinary beast blood. Have you used Beast King level blood yet? It was Xia Hong who first discovered this. He was, of course, well aware of these situations. Observing Jia Hong for a moment, he quickly discerned that Jia Hong had already used Beast King level blood. Jia Hong nodded, expressing gratitude. Lord Q knew I was trying to achieve a top-grade battle body. 2 months ago, he specially gave me a quota to exchange for 5 pounds of Beast King level blood. Unfortunately, my potential is limited. When I used up to 4 pounds, my strength stopped increasing. Now, I'm just over 100 pounds away, but I can't push any further. Currently, only Xia Hong in Great Xia has the ability to hunt Beast Kings. As of now, he has killed a total of 16 Beast Kings. The blood yield of a single Beast King is about 100 pounds. Calculating it, the camp supply department has approximately 1,600 pounds of Beast King level blood in stock. Allocating 5 pounds for Jia Hong to exchange is already quite generous. Beast King level blood can only contribute to a certain extent. The main factor is the person's own potential. Using this level of beast blood to reshape the skin membrane involves considerable pain and risk, so it can't be given out unrestrictedly. Jia Hong's lack of results after using 4 pounds indicates his potential has essentially reached its limit, which aligns with Xia Hong's observations. The Beast Kings I hunted before were all common types. Reaching this level is already commendable if you want to improve further, Xia Hong said with a smile, suddenly turning to signal Su Ning behind him. Su Ning understood and immediately retrieved a string of beast skin pouches from behind him. The string had about 20 pouches. He took one and tossed it to Jia Hong, smiling as he congratulated. "You're in luck today. The Lord recently wounded a Beast King level Jiao Long, just acquiring about 20 pounds of Jiao Long blood. I've just checked. This Jiao Long blood is of much higher quality than other Beast King level blood. Take a pound and try it. It should help you push through that last 100 pounds. The Lord recently wounded a Beast King level Jiao Long." Xiao Hen, Yuan Bai, and the others, hearing this, felt their pupils quake and looked at Xia Hong with eyes full of admiration and zeal. Since the incident with the red blood demon dragon in Qinghepu spread in Xia City, everyone's understanding of dragons, a type of cold beast, has become clearer. They know that any cold beast related to the word dragon is incredibly powerful. Learning that Xia Hong could wound a Jiao Long naturally astonished them. Of course, amidst their astonishment, they did not forget to cast envious looks at Jia Hong. "Jia Hong, bow your thanks to the Lord." As the main person involved, Jia Hong clutched the beast skin pouch tightly with both hands. Feeling its heat from the Jiao Long blood inside, he was overwhelmingly emotional as he bowed to Xia Hong. If Xia Li hadn't specified that Xia people should not perform kneeling etiquette lightly, he would have knelt down to thank him. "No need for that. Your strength increasing is a boon for Great Xia. This pound of Jiao Long blood is an extra gift from me. No need to report it to the camp's supply department." The Lord's kindness, Jia Hong will never forget. Jia Hong, hearing this, was visibly moved, and his voice choked up. He was part of the old community during the Mud Slope era. His parents perished in the calamity caused by the wood puppet monster 10 years ago. From Great Xia's beginnings, barely surviving the slaughter by the wood puppet monster, to its territorial expansion by several hundred times today, entering the ranks of the 9 towns, and establishing the prospering first town of Mo South Slope, he has been both a witness and a highly involved participant in all these developments. Whether towards Xia Hong, the Lord, or the entire Great Xia camp, Jia Hong's feelings were much deeper than those of others. The fact that Lord Q specifically allocated a quota for Beast King level blood to him already left him flattered and overwhelmed. Now, with Lord Xia Hong personally gifting him such precious Jiao Long blood, how could he not be moved? Chapter 1170, Chapter 398, Commendation and Generosity, Pressure from the Alliance of Three Towns, Part 2. I remember your sister Zhejiang has quite a talent too. How old is she this year? The population of Xia City is now almost over 1.3 million. The population of Bashang has started to migrate. Once the migration is complete, the total number of people is estimated to be over 2.5 million. With so many people in Great Xia today, Xia Hong naturally can't know everyone. However, back in the Mudslope era, the total population of Great Xia was just over 150. That small group of people, Xia Hong basically still remembers. The Jai Hong siblings, he just happens to have an impression of. If Jai Hong's qualification was not particularly noteworthy at first, only starting to stand out after the first martial arts competition in the second year of Great Xia, then his sister, Jai Jiang, was always a dazzling genius. From Xia Hong's perspective, it's natural for him to remember the Jai Hong siblings. From Jai Hong's perspective, it's completely different. Xia Hong not only remembers the siblings, but he can also accurately say the sister's name. His expression instantly became excited, and he quickly cupped his hands and said, "My lord, my sister Zhejiang is 19 this year. She broke through the cold resistance level last year. When she did, her basic strength increased to 130,000 jin, which is also a top-level combat body qualification." Upon hearing the name Zhejiang, Lu Owen, Zhu Ping, Liu Peng, Lu Dong, Zhao Yuankang and others, who were about 16 or 17 years old, their brows immediately twitched sharply, obviously recalling some unpleasant memories. Xia Hong keenly sensed the change in their expressions, and immediately remembered that Qiu Peng had told him that Jai Jiang was not only talented, but also had a temper. She often chased after Luo and his group in the inner city to beat them up, and he chuckled. "Both you siblings have outstanding qualifications, not bad." Hearing that Jai Jiang only had a top-level combat body qualification, Xia Hong felt slightly disappointed. In recent times, through exchanges with Murong Chui and Zaihu Zhang, he had inferred a lot of situations. All the current Xianyang-level experts of the 9 towns, before their breakthrough, without exception, all had top-grade war body qualifications. To date, none have broken through to the Xianyang level with just a top-level combat body qualification. Although nothing is absolute, from this point, it can be inferred that a top-grade war body qualification is likely the minimum threshold to break through to the Xianyang level. Without this qualification, breaking through is very challenging. In this sense, the once dazzling Jai Jiang pales in comparison to her brother Jai Hong, who is now coming into his own. Despite his disappointment, Xia Hong naturally didn't show it. After complimenting the Jai Hong siblings, he turned to Zio Hen and the others, smiling. "Your rescue behavior was risky, but I judge by results. Since you succeeded, it counts as merit, and I'll think of how to reward you." Hearing this, Zio Hen and his group were instantly excited. Not only Jai Hong, but it turns out they also have a reward. That dragon shedding has so many dragon scales. With 59 of you, each can have one. It's just enough for you to join the hunting team and move things at White Tiger Pond. My lord, this is too valuable, perhaps. That's enough, this is it. With over 4,000 dragon scales, distributing a few won't hurt. Zio Kangcheng instinctively wanted to decline, but before he could finish speaking, Xia Hong interrupted him. Seeing this, he could only nod. "Thank you, my lord." Zio Hen, Yuan Bai, and their group were naturally extremely excited at this moment. They hurriedly bowed to thank Xia Hong, even though they weren't clear on the specific benefits. Just the 2 words, dragon scales, made them certain that it was an invaluable treasure. Xia Hong waved his hand, indicating for everyone to stand up. He didn't intentionally come here to see Zio Hen and his group with Su Ning and Zio Kingcheng. After leaving White Tiger Pond in the first half of the night, he immediately went a-bashing to notify Su Ning, asking him to send 10 advanced hunting teams to move things back from White Tiger Pond. The 3 of them set off in advance, and as they passed this place, Xia Hong sensed Zio Hen and his group encountering trouble, so he brought Su Ning and Zio Kangcheng to watch their response from the shadows. Calculating the time, those 10 advanced hunting teams should have arrived. They've arrived. Su Ning, Zio Kangcheng, you take them to meet with those advanced hunting teams. The location of Giant Tiger Mountain and where things are stashed can be found with the map I gave you. Xia Hong subtly sensed the large group of people heading deeper into Mo Mountain from the east side, then turned slightly to advise Su Ning and Zhao Qingcheng. At your command. Su Ning and Zhao Qingcheng bowed in unison, immediately taking Zhao Hen, Yuan Bai, and the other 59 young members, preparing to head east. Wait for me a moment. Xia Hong suddenly remembered something, stopping the two, then turned his gaze towards the depths of the snow forest and disappeared directly in front of everyone. Su Ning and Zhao Qingcheng seemed to know something, glanced at each other, and stood waiting quietly. Zhao Hen, Yuan Bai, and the others looked puzzled, their faces full of confusion. Bang! The group waited less than 20 breaths before a golden object suddenly fell straight from the air in front of them, creating a loud bang and sending the snow on the ground flying up a good 10 meters. As the snow mist cleared, Zhao Hen, Yuan Bai, and the others saw the golden object, and their expressions all instantly froze, their pupils filled with astonishment. On the ground lay a golden tiger over a meter long. Its fur had mostly turned golden, its eyes were wide open, pupils filled with fear, its mouth remained agape, and aside from a subtle cut on its brow, no other wound was visible on its body. Chapter 1171, Chapter 398, Commendations and Generosity, 3 towns join forces to apply pressure. It's that advanced golden spot tiger. 20 breaths, and that's without considering the time it takes to go back and forth. Did the Lord use time to kill this advanced golden spot tiger? It pretty much died instantly, didn't it? The Lord's power is just too strong. This is an advanced golden spot tiger. Couldn't even withstand a single attack. Just how powerful is the Lord's strength? All right, what's all the fuss about just one advanced cold beast? The Lord doesn't take much time to deal with a beast king either. Zhao Qingcheng couldn't help but reprimand as he saw everyone making a commotion. Su Ning constantly kept his head up, seeing Xia Hong had already transformed into a stream of light heading towards Hongmen direction. He immediately turned and said to everyone, "Let's depart, don't waste time here. Go to White Tiger Pond and bring the stuff back safely." The batch of items from White Tiger Pond has been deemed as treasures by the Lord. They must be significant. His most important task tonight is to ensure that batch of items is safely delivered to Bashing City. Everyone nodded, quickly following Su Ning towards the depths of Mo Mountain, heading to the region of White Tiger Pond. Resources: wood 8,726,100,000, coal 9,080,7,200,000, iron 9,862,500,000, silver 21,820,000. September 10, according to 8 towns. No, it's 7 towns. The first round of trade should be completed. According to what Qiu Peng said the day before yesterday, the first batch of trade profits totaled 420 million taels of silver, which converts into 8.4 million system resource points. Coupled with what has been self-mined over the past year, silver is definitely not lacking now. Xia Hong, flying towards Hongmen City over the outskirts of Mo Mountain, started calculating the total account of the system's silver resources. The turmoil caused by Yang Ning and Li Hu in Hongmen City on September 1 was known to him before he headed to White Tiger Pond, and he was also aware of Qiu Peng's refusal to trade with Beishuo Town. Truth be told, Xia Hong was most wary of Beishuo among the northern 3 towns, so he rather supported Qiu Peng's decision. Great Xia's core objectives in foreign trade are twofold. One is to change the lifestyle habits of the 8 towns, people with Great Xia's goods, whether it's called wooing or transforming, the essence being infiltration under the guise of trade. The other is to earn silver from the 8 towns. Regardless of Great Xia's intentions, selling cultivation resources to the 8 towns will inevitably provide some support to enemies, and Xia Hong is most wary of Beishuo Town, thus avoiding trade with them is indeed a good thing. The items Qiu Peng sells externally are meticulously planned, treating all 7 towns' Chamber of Commerce the same, with a fixed number of precious cultivation resources paired with ample everyday materials. If they want to buy, they must buy them all in bundled packages, and the 7 towns could only agree for those cultivation resources. The trade volume of 7 towns is uniformly 60 million taels of silver, hence Xia Hong could immediately come up with the figure of 420 million taels. Things that Great Xia buys from 7 towns are generally negligible, given Liu Yang has thoroughly explored the produce of the 9 towns over the past 4 years, excluding very few special resources like blood ginseng pill from Mayan town. Great Xia basically has no need to buy anything from 7 towns. The trade volume from the 7 towns' Chamber of Commerce is definitely substantial, while the amount of silver brought forth by those village-level camps in the 8 towns should be quite limited. Still, even the smallest mosquito as meat, earning a bit is still something, and the core purpose is to cultivate dependency on Great Xia's goods among these village-level camp dwellers within the 8 towns, so it must continue. Looking at the 21,820,000 silver resource points on him, Xia Hong finally felt much more at ease. From when he first came into contact with silver until now, not having to worry about silver resources essentially took him about 7 years. It truly wasn't easy. These over 2 million silver resource points are what he mined himself last year after exiting seclusion from those silver mines opened in Long Mountain, not including the silver yet earned from the 7 towns. After the 7 towns tasted the sweetness, unless something unexpected happens, the trade shouldn't be interrupted. Going forward, annually we should earn nearly 1 billion taels of silver from the 7 towns' Chamber of Commerce, which converts into approximately 20 million silver resource points. It's truly sufficient. The Martial Arts Pavilion, Artifact Refining Pavilion, and Alchemy Pavilion can continue planning upgrades, while Iron Wall and Black Land can accumulate a few years without much issue. Buildings enabled. Yangtze Tripod Level 5, Martial Arts Pavilion Level 4, Alchemy Pavilion Level 4, Artifact Refining Pavilion Level 4, Iron Wall Level 3, Ancestral Spirit Steel Level 5, Black Land Level 3, Enlightenment Lotus Platform Level 4. Buildings not enabled. Rough Iron Chain. For upgrading the Level 5 Yangtze Tripod, Level 4 Enlightenment Lotus Platform, and Level 5 Ancestral Spirit Steel, gold is required. Of course, there's also the Rough Iron Chain. Rough Iron Chain, silver 1,000, gold 5,000. Seeing the amount of resources needed to enable the Rough Iron Chain, Xia Hong frowned deeply. He hasn't seen what gold actually looks like, and 5,000 points are an astronomical figure for him, not even worthy of contemplation. Once back, the 3 pavilions will be upgraded once, thoroughly digesting this round's massive influx of new species, with martial arts pavilions' capacity drastically expanding, and Great Xia's cold resistance level population will grow increasingly fast. Just awaiting the next eruption, when Xuanling breaks through to Xianyang level, the 8 towns will practically have no resistance against Great Xia, and I'll be able to leave the camp, to find out what exactly the legendary Kai-Q feudal town's strength really is. Remembering Qiu Peng's report on the situation with Outer Realm forces 5 days ago, Xia Hong's gaze was filled with curiosity. Landgrave-led feudal towns, forbidden grounds of deceitful objects. The meaning of these 8 words likely points to camps of feudal town level where deceitful monsters dare not invade. Landgrave should be a title even higher than a leader or lord, suggesting most likely a formidable presence above Xianyang level. Chapter 1172, Chapter 398, Rewards and Generosity, Joint Pressure from 3 Towns. Xia Hong, besides feeling curious, was also filled with intense apprehension. A powerful force from the Outer Realm had long set its sights on the 9 towns of Mo South Slope, and they had even sent spies to lurk there for several years. Qiu Peng accidentally uncovered Han Peng of Jinyang Village in Jinshan Town, which doesn't necessarily mean that the Kai-Q feudal town and the 8 towns had only recruited this one spy. If Great Xia is already openly appearing in the Mo South Slope region, then it's very likely that Kai-Q feudal town has taken notice. According to Han Peng, the Kai-Q feudal town is extremely powerful enough to crush the 9 towns, yet they haven't attacked for so many years. Either they look down on the 9 towns, or there are other difficulties. The latter possibility should be greater. No matter how much the Ice Abyss camp develops, population is always a priority, followed by resources. The combined population of the 9 towns is at least over 15 million, not to mention they also occupy an entrance to Mo Mountain over 800 kilometers long, and a section of the Xing River to the south. Even if Kai-Q feudal town is strong, they couldn't possibly ignore all this. So there must be some difficulties that have been restricting Kai-Q, preventing them from sending a large force south to annex the territories and population of the 9 towns. It's a pity that Han Peng was merely bought off by Kai-Q feudal town, only knowing that Kai-Q feudal town is to the north, without knowing the specific location. Otherwise, I'd go there myself to investigate. Thinking of this, Xia Hong slightly shook his head. No, I almost forgot. I can't leave Great Xia too far, at least not before Chuanling breaks through. Currently, Great Xia has only him at the Xianyang level, which is a hard truth. And as Great Xia engages in trade with the 8 towns, bringing a large trade population into Hongmen City and Great Xia territory, the fact that Great Xia only has him at the Xianyang level is something that should soon become known to the other 8 towns. This matter is neither too big nor too small. It's big because a Xianyang level is after all the mainstay of a camp. The 8 towns will know this, and especially the northern 3 towns will quickly find ways to target Great Xia, possibly even attacking collaboratively. It's small because Great Xia's overall strength currently stands as undoubtedly the first among the 9 towns. As long as it's not multiple towns united, Great Xia can face any one town alone with no problem, and even if 2 or 3 unite, Xia Hong isn't too worried. His only concern is the merger of the northern 3 towns. Chui Mountain basically follows Beishuo, and once Yonk and Dragon Valley, those 2 turncoats, see the 4 towns united in power, they'll surely side with them. By then, if 6 towns merge to target Great Xia, it would be quite troublesome. Also, once the 6 towns merge, it's hard to say what attitude Jiangxia and Mayan, the other 2 towns, will hold at that time. Fortunately, there is still Xiang Fuhai, so even if the 8 towns know I'm the only one at the Xianyang level in Great Xia, they still have to consider Xiang Fuhai's presence, which should make them restrain themselves somewhat. From the moment Xia Hong rescued Xiang Fuhai from Bashing City, he had foreseen today. Li Xuanling's breakthrough to Xianyang level still needed time, and men like Xia Chuan and Yuan Dao, even more so. Great Xia only has him at the Xianyang level, which is indeed not deterrent enough. To temporarily bring an outsider at the Xianyang level into Xia City, whether one could be found is one thing. Even if found, Xia Hong wouldn't feel comfortable leaving them in Xia City. And the heavily injured Xiang Fuhai happened to be the best choice. Xiang Fuhai's injuries hadn't recovered, and staying in Xia City was fine, while the 8 towns were unaware of this, clearly making them apprehensive, making it a perfect fit. When this round of Bashing's population migration ends, and the remaining descendants of the Xiang family are all moved into Xia City, Xiang Fuhai's loyalty issue will basically be resolved. Once Cheng Feng develops the Dan medicine, we'll immediately help him restore his cultivation, then Great Xia's security will be basically guaranteed. Thousands of thoughts surged in Xia Hong's mind, soon flying over Hongmen City, looking down at the bustling crowd at the city gate. A broad smile appeared on his face. With a slight move of his mind, he flashed towards the ministry building in the city center. The Hongmen City, top floor of the ministry building, conference hall. Xia Chuan sat at the main seat, his brows furrowed tightly. Qiu Peng and Lin Kai sat below, looking somewhat serious. Yuan Cheng stood in the middle, holding a golden document. After reading its content, he angrily shouted, "Isn't this Yang Zhen spreading lies? Even if I were to kill, at most I would kill Yang Ning and Li Hu. Yang Fan and his group did nothing to provoke me. Why would I kill them?" After saying this, he paused and continued. Besides, their entire team had 15 people. Yang Fan had a power level of 31 toughs, and the remaining 14 people were basically all above 20 toughs. I killed 13 in one go, and 2 injured ones escaped. Does Yang Zhen really believe Yang Ning's nonsense? You sit down and calm down first. Xia Chuan gestured for Yuan Cheng to calm down, then said in a deep voice, "When you had a conflict with Yang Fan and others in the city at the beginning of September, many people from the 8 towns witnessed it, and they also heard you threaten to kill these 15 people. Now that something has indeed happened to these people, along with Yang Ning's first-hand account, how could Yang Zhen not come looking for you?" At this moment, Qiu Peng also nodded on the side, his brows slightly furrowed as he said, "Whether Yang Zhen believes it or not is irrelevant. The key is that Yang Fan and his people did indeed die near Hongmen City. Whether Yang Ning is speaking nonsense doesn't matter anymore. The letter from Yang Zhen directly identifies you as the murderer, asking us to hand you over, also carrying the signatures of Shang Yuan Yang and Qin Feng. This clearly shows that the northern 3 towns are using this matter to unite and pressure us." Yuan Cheng's brow furrowed deeply. He certainly wasn't worried that Xia Chuan would hand him over. The key was that he realized at this moment that the words he had spoken in front of so many people in Hongmen City 9 days ago seemed to be the root cause of the current issue. His impulsiveness had evidently brought significant trouble to Great Xia. Chapter 1173. Chapter 399, Beishuo's Foreign Edict and Xiang Fuhai's Injuries. Yuan Cheng stood in place, looking at the invitation card, his expression gloomy, yet he couldn't help but feel a trace of guilt in his heart. He clenched his fist tightly and decided to step out, solemnly speaking to Xia Chuan. Minister, if the northern three towns truly use this matter as leverage to force Great Xia into anything, we absolutely must not agree. Yuan Cheng is solely responsible for his actions. Since I made this mess, I should bear the burden. At worst, just let me. What invitation card? Let me see. Before Yuan Cheng could finish his sentence, a voice from outside interrupted him. Greetings, Lord. Upon hearing the voice, Yuan Cheng did not hesitate at all, turning around immediately and bowing respectfully to the one behind. Xia Chuan, who was seated at the main seat, and Qiu Peng and Lin Kai below, also stood up quickly, bowing respectfully towards the door. Greetings, Lord. Xia Hong did not delay, walked over, and directly took the golden document from Yuan Cheng's hand, then sat in the main seat vacated by Xia Chuan, looking down at the document. Beishuo External Edict. On the night of September 1st, Yuan Cheng, director of Garrison Department of Great Xia Town, ambushed and killed Beishuo's Town Chamber of Commerce President Yang Fan, Vice President Yang Pu, members Yang Yun, Yang Shu, Yang Ding, Zhu Yiking, Zhang Huan, Li Kang, Li Xinyan, Zhou Ying, Zhou Longhai, Zhu Long, Bai Dong, totaling 13 people in the snow forest, 13 kilometers north of Hongmen City. Yang Ning witnessed the atrocities of Yuan Cheng and others with his own eyes. Great Xia cannot deny it. Beishuo and your town are both part of the 9 towns of Mo South Slope. We ought to disregard divisions and join hands, together building Mo South Slope's home. Yet Great Xia committed such heinous acts, truly disgraceful. Beishuo has issued external edict to notify all towns, hoping Great Xia will hand over the culprits on September 18 at Hongmen, and restore justice to Beishuo and Mo towns. Yang Zhun Qinfeng Shangyuan Yang. This external edict is really well written. Upon hearing Xia Hong's first words after reading the document, the 4 people below's expressions suddenly froze. Seeing their reactions, Xia Hong smiled, raising the Beishuo edict in his hand and said, "What, am I wrong? Beishuo's edict is well-reasoned, capturing the righteousness and winning hearts. Setting aside Mayan and Jiangxia, other 5 town lords might find it difficult not to support Beishuo on behalf of the 9 towns." Qin Feng and Shangyuan Yang directly signed at the end. Even if Cao Kaiyanyang and Long Minjuan don't support, they probably won't oppose the 3 towns. September 18th seems like all will come together. Upon hearing these words, Xia Chuan and the 4 others' expressions instantly grew solemn. The 9 towns of Mo South Slope's regulations, internal edicts are called town edicts, diplomatic edicts are external edicts, which are customarily made public. This document by Yang Zhun will spread across the 8 towns in a few days, and there will surely be many spectators on the 18th. Yang Zhun clearly wants to put us on a burning stake. Qiu Peng spoke solemnly, and after a moment of contemplation, everyone's expression slightly sank. Truly handing over Yuan Cheng in front of the people from the 8 towns would utterly disgrace Great Xia's reputation, yet they absolutely cannot hand over Yuan Cheng. But if they don't hand him over with such conclusive evidence, Yang Zhun has already informed the 7 towns, intentionally making it known to everyone. If they don't hand over, Great Xia will inevitably be labeled as arrogant. The good reputation they've painstakingly built over the last 2 months will be completely destroyed. Destroying reputation is secondary. If they don't hand over, will Yang Zhun let it rest? Qin Feng and Shangyuan Yang's names on this edict imply that Wuchuan and Jin Mountain towns will fully support Beishuo. Thinking of this, Xia Chuan couldn't help but speak solemnly. Not only the northern 3 towns, Duan Hong was humiliated by the lord at the Hongmen banquet, thus harbors deep hatred for Great Xia. Coupled with their unclear connection with Beishuo, Chui Mountain will undoubtedly side with Beishuo. Cao Kaiyanyang and Long Minjuan, these weathercocks, see the 4 towns' strength, even if not supporting, dare not oppose them, thus we face 4 towns together. Mayan and Jiangxia won't support us. Yuan Cheng suddenly spoke, but upon seeing Xia Chuan and the 3 others' gazes after speaking, he immediately closed his mouth, his expression becoming more somber. Mayan and Jiangxia have been favored by Great Xia, but under such circumstances, what choices the 2 towns make is uncertain. Moreover, their choices are not yours to decide. Great Xia has never depended on outsiders for survival. Seems my intuition is correct. Yang Zhun from the northern 3 towns is indeed the toughest nut to crack. 2 months since Hongmen's opening, he is already impatiently uniting the towns against us. Quite interesting. Xia Hong lowered his head and mused, looking at the contents of the edict. He asked Xia Chuan, "These 5 Yang Fan, Yang Pu, Yang Yun, Yang Shu, Yang Ding, are they direct descendants of the Yang family? What is their relationship with Yang Zhen and Yang Fa?" Fully understanding the 8 towns situation, Xia Chuan immediately answered, "The second-generation descendants of the Yang family have the character cow in their names. Yang Fan, Yang Pu, Yang Yun are among them. Yang Fan is town chief Yang Fa's eldest son. Yang Pu is Yang Zhen's 5th son, and the last one, Yang Yun, is the eldest son of Yang Jian the 3rd. Yang Shu and Yang Ding are 4th-generation descendants, also direct descendants. Both are in their 30s, with skills over 25 horses, known for their talent, acclaimed as the Yang family's 6 horses, quite reputable in the 8 towns." Upon hearing this, Xia Hong's eyebrows slightly furrowed. All 5 are direct descendants. No wonder Yang Zhen acted so ruthlessly. Chapter 1174, Chapter 399, Beishuo's External Edict, Xiang Fuhai's Injuries 2. The 2 brothers Yang Zhen. It's unlikely they'd use the lives of 5 direct descendants just to throw mud at us. So the murder of Yang Fan and his 13 people indeed happened. If Yuan Cheng didn't kill them, then it must be people from other towns who deliberately tried to smear us. Yuan Cheng saw that Xia Hong didn't even question him, and directly concluded that he wasn't the killer, which moved him deeply. Xia Hong didn't pay attention to Yuan Cheng, but continued on his own. No, it might not necessarily be other towns. It could also be that Kai Qiu feudal town, or some infiltrating outer realm force within the 9 towns. Upon hearing this speculation, the expressions of Xia Chuan and the other 4 became much more grave. Yuan Cheng hesitated for a moment, finally standing up slowly and speaking in a deep voice. "Lord, if 4 towns unite our great Xia. All right, it's none of your concern. Do you think handing you over would solve the problem? If I did hand you over, the reputation of great Xia, painstakingly accumulated from April until now, would be lost entirely. Having a first compromise would quickly lead to a second, and the second time wouldn't be as simple as handing someone over. Interaction between towns is quite pragmatic. If one side shows any weakness, the other side will surely take the advantage. Since the Hongmen banquet at the end of April, Xia Hong has been tirelessly shaping Great Xia into an immensely powerful entity, capable of outweighing the Mo 8 towns. That's why the conflict for Bashing City from Chui Mountain, the fight for Jiachu Camp from Beishuo, and subsequent establishment of a port in Hongmen City, as well as trade with the 8 towns, went so smoothly. Essentially, including Mayan and Jiangxia, the Mo 8 towns now fear Great Xia, especially the northern 3 towns, where fear is mixed with deep concern. After all these past 4 months, Great Xia has virtually transformed the ecological landscape of the 9 towns, relegating them from their previous lofty positions to mere supporting roles. Especially the 2 matters of port establishment and trade, which dug into the foundation of their town territories. With so many people from village-level camps flocking to Hongmen City, what prestige remains for their town cities? How can they effectively manage those below? Moreover, among these people, who knows how many have been bought by Great Xia? As more people come to Hongmen, the 8 towns become increasingly transparent in front of Great Xia, which would terrify any ice abyss camp. Now they are basically held in place by Great Xia. Even opening the town's cultivation resources to village-level camps is too late. People would only appreciate Great Xia's merit. Attempting to ban locals from coming to Hongmen City to buy goods wouldn't work, as they're already trading with Great Xia. Trying to revert to intertown trade and mark up resources to sell below again would only push more people to buy from Hongmen City. But just leaving things unchecked is even worse. Clever people surely exist in the 8 towns, and Great Xia using trade as a front while secretly infiltrating and recruiting isn't sophisticated enough to escape detection. The villagers from these camps in the 8 towns' territory, once accustomed to purchasing cultivation resources and various supplies from Great Xia in Hongmen City, over time, whom do they truly belong to, the 8 towns or Great Xia? During this period, the northern 3 towns are surely devising strategies to break free, and Xia Hong has been well aware of it. However, happening upon the murder of Yang Fan and his group was indeed unexpected. If the 4 towns want to unite, let them. At least Yang Zhen knows to issue external proclamations first. As long as rules are followed, everything can be negotiated. A direct confrontation, Xia Hong isn't truly worried. The real fear is when the rules are ignored, like someone with Xianyang level strength causing chaos. That would be troublesome, since Great Xia currently only has him at Xianyang level. Have you and Dao lead the dragon martial army back to Hongmen first, then gather all dispersed troops from the territory. I'm headed back to Xia City once more, before the 18th, arm Hongmen to the teeth. If it's mere posturing, let's make some noise. Forcing Great Xia to submit won't be too simple. As you command. Upon hearing this, Xia Chuan's expression brightened, promptly bowing in agreement. After speaking, Xia Hong's eyes revealed a hint of coldness, continuing, regardless of who killed Yang Fan and those 13, since Yang Jun dared to stir public alarm and make such a fuss, he must be confident enough to convince others it was Yuan Cheng who did it. If that's the case, arguing probably won't help much. Just wait till they arrive on the 18th, and I'll see for myself what the true strength of the northern three-town lords is. Recollecting the brief encounter at Bashing City last time, Xia Hong's eyes slightly flickered with battle intent. He had a rough estimation of those three's strength, and given the chance, engaging and challenging them wouldn't be impossible. Let's hope Murong Chui and Zaihu Zhang don't disappoint me. Internalizing a thought, Xia Hong shook his head, cursing himself for being foolish, placing hope on others. I must return to Xia City first. Martial Arts Pavilion, Artifact Refining Pavilion, Alchemy Pavilion are about to undergo major changes. Upon hearing Xia Hong's words, Xia Chuan and the other four's expressions suddenly filled with excitement. The camp constructions in Xia City with each change have brought overwhelming transformations. They are well aware of this. The cultivation quotas in the Martial Arts Pavilion, the casting technology and efficiency in the Artifact Refining Pavilion, the alchemy and appraisal efficiency in the Alchemy Pavilion. Once these facilities undergo major changes, Great Xia's overall strength will likely experience a dramatic leap. Xia Hong waved a slight goodbye to the group, not staying any longer, exited the meeting hall, and flew towards the direction of Xia City to the west. We bid farewell to the Lord. Once Xia Hong was far enough away, Xia Chuan and the four exchanged excited gazes. Martial Arts Pavilion's quota should increase a lot again. What's missing for Great Xia now is time. With limited time, we can only compensate with this. As long as more people can simultaneously cultivate, the number of breakthroughs to cold resistance level will continue to grow, and our current cold resistance level count already surpasses the northern three towns. If this round's quota increases sufficiently, I estimate that surpassing the combined total of the 8 towns won't take long either. The cultivation quotas in the Martial Arts Pavilion are allocated by the camp's supply department, and Qiu Peng, the camp's supply department director, is well aware. Upon hearing this, Xia Chuan, Yuan Cheng, and Lin Kai's expressions showed slight excitement. Should Great Xia surpass the 8 towns' combined total in cold resistance level numbers, what a spectacle that will be in the future. The Mo South Slope will surely become part of Great Xia's territory. Saying this, determination filled Xia Chuan's expression. At these words, Yuan Cheng, Qiu Peng, and Lin Kai all nodded in agreement, their eyes full of unwavering belief. The 8th year of Da Xia, September 11. When Xia Hong returned to Xia City, it was already daylight. He went straight to the Alchemy Pavilion and found Cheng Feng, who was busy with alchemy. Lord Cheng Feng pays respects to the Lord. Cheng Feng was deeply immersed in alchemy. It was only when Xia Hong approached that he realized, quickly attempting to rise and offer his salute. Focus on your medicine first. Seeing the pill about to take shape in the pill furnace, Xia Hong immediately held him down, signaling to continue his alchemical process, then asked, regarding Xiang Fui's injuries, do you have the confidence to heal him? Hearing this question, Cheng Feng's face instantly showed excitement, first retrieving the formed pill from the pill furnace, then bowing to respond. Lord, Xiang Fui's injuries are primarily in the meridians. I've identified the cause. This batch of holy vein pill is specially refined targeting his injuries. I can't confirm the specific effects without him trying it first. I actually refined a batch 2 days ago, but didn't dare to privately give it to him. Now it's just right for the Lord's presentation. Chapter 1175. Chapter 400. Building upgrades, preparations and plans, spousal tacit understanding. Holy vein pill. As soon as the pill took shape, Xia Hong could already smell the rich, exotic fragrance. Receiving the yellow porcelain bottle handed over by Cheng Feng, he immediately opened it. Seeing the 6 golden, round elixir pills inside, Xia Hong's expression slightly stirred, looking up at Cheng Feng with a hint of expectation. Cheng Feng naturally understood why Xia Hong showed such an expression. The excitement in his eyes had not yet dissipated, and he spoke excitedly. "Lord, this holy vein pill has miraculous effects on meridian-related injuries. I'm not yet sure of its effects at the Xianyang level, but for those with cold resistance level cultivation, even if all their meridians are severed, taking this pill will completely restore them in less than a day. You should still remember Shi Qing, right?" Seeing Xia Hong nod, Cheng Feng continued. Shi Qing was incapacitated back then because all the joints and meridians in his body were completely destroyed by wood puppet monsters' threads. 4 years ago, Minister painstakingly reattached all his joints and primary meridians. This gave him another chance to cultivate, but since the majority of his meridians were still in a broken state, his cultivation progress was much slower than others, and during battles, he could only exert 50 to 60% of his power at most. The meridians are equivalent to the body's sensors. Whether in battle or cultivation, their role is crucial, and Xia Hong naturally understood this principle. Hearing this, he basically got the whole picture. When I refined the first batch the day before yesterday, I tested it on Shi Qing. After taking the pill, the injuries to his meridians immediately healed, and his basic strength jumped from 1 zong to 1.2 zong on the spot. So this holy vein pill is significantly effective for those at the cold resistance level. Calling it a miraculous medicine is not an exaggeration. Even without cases like Shi Qing's, most people who hunt and fight long-term outside usually sustain some meridian damage. As long as they take the holy vein pill, their meridians can be perfectly restored. If this pill is placed in the camp's supply department, it will surely be wildly sought after. Upon hearing this, Xia Hong immediately nodded and continued to ask, "What spiritual materials are needed to refine the holy vein pill? Can it be mass-produced?" Upon hearing this question, Cheng Feng's face paused, followed by a wry smile. The holy vein pill requires a total of 28 kinds of spirit plants to refine, most of which are not a problem. However, bone-breaking grass and yellow jade milk are the two most difficult to acquire. We only found bone-breaking grass last month in the Juke water area, and there are only 5 plants. As for yellow jade milk, it was sent back 5 days ago by people from the Zhejiang outpost. I inquired about it, and it was accidentally discovered in a stone cave deep in Beimeng Mountain. I have currently transplanted bone-breaking grass into the medicine field, but yellow jade milk should be a naturally formed spiritual material, and transplantation is not possible. Unless we can find a large quantity of yellow jade milk, mass production is definitely not possible. I have yet to rate the holy vein pill, but looking at the difficulty of refining it, it should be classified as a level 6 spiritual pill without a doubt. Hearing the stringent refinement conditions, Xia Hong constantly shook his head. Cheng Feng is the director of the harvesting department. 5 years ago, he, together with Deputy Director Bai Dongying, categorized all the Dan medicines of Great Xia into 6 ranks and established a supporting level 6 pill master examination system. Level 6 is the highest level of spiritual pills. To his knowledge, there are currently 12 types classified as level 6, among which the most representative ones should be the bone condensing pill, bone gathering pill, dragon carp pill, and green cod pill. After all, rare things are hard to find. If a good thing like the holy vein pill could be easily made, that would indeed be strange. Xia Hong sighed slightly, putting away the holy vein pill first. He then raised his head and looked around the alchemy pavilion, curiously asking, "How many elixir recipes has the alchemy pavilion currently synthesized in total?" Upon hearing this question, the wry smile on Cheng Feng's face immediately disappeared. His expression slightly stirred as he said, "Since last October, when the Lord of October explored the Huayuan waters, new species have been continuously sent over. Thanks to the fact that most of them are spirit plants and spiritual materials, the alchemy pavilion's identified medicinal resources have been increasing, and the synthesis of elixir recipes has been steadily rising. By this April, the Alchemy Pavilion has identified a total of 4,821 kinds of medicinal resources and synthesized 128 elixir recipes. At the end of April, the Lord took control of Bashing Town and Jiachu Camp, and a large number of new species were sent over. Plus, with He Yin Village acquired in July, the camp's hunting team can freely enter and exit Mo Mountain. The new spirit plants and spiritual materials transported back during this period have been countless. The new medicinal resources identified by the Alchemy Pavilion have reached dozens of kinds every day, and now there are already 5,291 medicinal resources, with almost daily new elixir recipes being synthesized, currently reaching 304. Moreover, as the exploration progress on the He Yin village side continuously deepens, more new species will be sent back, and the number of synthesized elixir recipes will keep soaring. I estimate this surge will last for a long time, and the total number of synthesized elixir recipes should reach over 500 in the end. Hearing that Great Xia currently has as many as 304 types of Dan medicines, Xia Hong couldn't help but feel somewhat excited. After pondering for a moment, he immediately agreed with Cheng Feng's prediction and even felt it might be somewhat conservative. The primary function of the medicine workshop is to identify. It records every type of identified medicinal resource, and then, based on these various medicinal properties, automatically synthesizes various elixir recipes. It is like a database with an automatic integration function. To maximize its potential, the only way is to continuously input new spirit plants and spiritual materials so that its database keeps expanding. Consequently, the synthesized recipes will naturally become more and more numerous. Chapter 1176, Chapter 400, Building Upgrades, Preparations and Plans, Spousal Tacit Understanding 2. Where do new spirit plants and spiritual materials come from? The primary way, of course, is through the expansion of the Great Xia territory. Only with territorial expansion and the continuous development of new resource areas can the range of activities for the camp's personnel expand, leading to the discovery of more new types of spiritual materials and spirit plants. Last October, Great Xia only explored the Huayuan waters. In April, they officially advanced into Qinghepu, capturing the entire Xing River north bank, then proceeded east to occupy the whole of Hongmen. They further snatched Bashing City and Jiu Camp from the hands of the two towns, Beishuo and Chui Mountain, and finally took He Yin village from Jiangxia town. This series of phased expansions has brought terrifyingly significant benefits. Not to mention anything else, the territory alone has increased by at least 1/3. Since capturing all of Longyu 6 years ago, aside from its exploration progress in the 3 major resource areas, Great Xia's territory hasn't undergone significant changes, maintaining a scale of over 15,000 square kilometers. This time, after seizing the entire Xing River north bank and counting the surroundings of Bashing town, as well as Jiu Camp and He Yin village, the current territory, although not precisely measured, is estimated by Xia Hong to be at least over 21,000 square kilometers. The benefits brought by this round of territorial expansion have not yet fully manifested. Take one example, the much-dreamed-of iron mines and coal mines of the past. Now, Xia Hong hasn't paid attention to how many specific ones Great Xia owns. He only knows that every month, a continuous stream of iron ore and coal stone is transported back from various places. The original warehouse of the camp's supply department was set on the 2nd floor of the main building, which had been filled up 3 years ago. Last year, the craftsman department built a headquarters hall next to the main building for the camp's supply department. The previous 2nd floor warehouse is now dedicated to storing silver. As future explorations of the Huayuan waters and Mo Mountain progress, the alchemy pavilion will have more materials for identification, and the number of synthetic elixir recipes will inevitably increase. Cheng Feng suddenly thought of something and, with a mix of joy and worry on his face, said, "By the way, Lord, I've been troubled about the medicine fields recently." As Cheng Feng spoke, Xia Hong's expression became increasingly peculiar. The medicine fields are running out. The medicine fields can consume coal stone for cultivating spirit plants. When the alchemy workshop was at level 3, it had a 10-meter medicine field. At that time, the number of precious spirit plants in Great Xia wasn't many, so that 10-meter field was mainly used for cultivating cold apple jade dew. Cold apple jade dew is the primary material for refining Yangyuan pills, which are used to enhance the strength of beings at the cold resistance level. Its importance is self-evident, so the limited resources of the medicine fields were naturally all allocated to it. After the level 3 alchemy workshop upgraded to the level 4 alchemy pavilion, the medicine fields expanded to a square with 500 meters on each side. The number of spirit plants available for cultivation suddenly increased. Cold apple jade dew, zhu yinhua, white frost grass. In short, whatever is most useful and scarce gets transplanted, and the 500-meter square medicine field was soon packed to the brim. Cheng Feng continued, "These spirit plants each grow several meters wide, and planting spirit plants with different medicinal properties together causes interference. I planned and replanned the 500-meter square medicine field and just barely managed to fill it, but even so, I could only plant 120 spirit plants. This quantity is too little. As Cheng Feng just said, the Alchemy Pavilion has identified a total of 5291 types of medicinal materials. Since these are medicinal materials, the majority are spirit plants and herbs. Excluding other types of spiritual materials, spirit plants and herbs account for at least 70%, adding up to over 3,000 kinds. With the scale of spirit plants in the Ice Abyss world, being able to transplant 120 plants into a 500-meter square medicine field is already quite good, and Cheng Feng must have put in a lot of effort. I came back this time to solve this issue for you. Hearing Xia Hong's words, Cheng Feng was stunned and immediately looked full of anticipation. Alchemy Pavilion Level 4. Upgrade requirements: wood 100 million, coal 100 million, iron 200 million, silver 6 million, synthetic elixir recipes 300 types. Quietly accessing the system, Xia Hong checked the information of the Alchemy Pavilion. Upon seeing the upgrade requirements section, his mind stirred slightly. The resources needed for the Alchemy Pavilion to upgrade from level 4 to level 5 have long been sufficient. What he has been waiting for is the number of synthetic formulas to reach the required threshold. A few days ago, when he was preparing to go to the White Tiger Pond, he found out that the number of elixir recipes had reached the requirement. Upgrade. Xia Hong's mind moved slightly, and the numbers in the resource section plummeted. Immediately, the entire Alchemy Pavilion burst into a brilliant light, causing many pill masters who were quietly refining pills in secluded chambers to become alarmed. Do not be alarmed, it will not affect your alchemy. Upon hearing Xia Hong's voice, all the pill masters' expressions slightly shifted. The pill masters who can stay in the Alchemy Pavilion for the long term are considered the core members of the harvesting department. They have previously experienced building upgrades, so when they saw this familiar scene, their expressions immediately turned expectant. Of course, the one most expectant is Cheng Feng, the director of the harvesting department. In no more than 10 breaths, the upgrade of the Alchemy Pavilion was complete. The overall appearance of the pavilion remained unchanged, but the size of the green medicine cauldron in the middle doubled, with a diameter of over 5 meters. Its overall color became more transparent, and the outer layer's ancient cloud pattern turned into a silver luster. In terms of both appearance and aura, it became more advanced than before. Xia Hong eagerly checked the description of the upgraded Alchemy Pavilion. Alchemy Pavilion, Level 5. Alchemy Equipment. Any item put into the main cauldron can have its properties identified, and items with medicinal properties will be automatically recorded. Chapter 1177, Chapter 400, Building Upgrades, Preparations and Plans, Husband and Wife's Tacit Understanding, Part 3. Special Function 1. Can automatically generate a recipe based on records. Once materials are placed into the main cauldron according to the recipe, add water and heat, and pills will be automatically produced. Special Function 2. The main cauldron can be used for injury diagnosis and healing. Any injury of a cultivator below the venerable level can be treated after diagnosis by the main cauldron, leading to recovery. Special Function 3. Equipped with 100 subdrug furnaces inside, the furnaces can improve the pill completion rate of pharmacists by 30%. Special Function 4. Includes a 1,000-meter-wide spiritual medicine field, which can consume coal stone to cultivate spiritual medicine. After reading the entire description, Xia Hong's expression immediately became excited. The main cauldron's functions remained unchanged, while the subdrug furnaces increased from 50 to 100, and the medicine field expanded fourfold, just solving Cheng Feng's issue. The key is Special Function 2. I never thought I would learn about the cultivation realm beyond the Xianyang level through the Alchemy Pavilion. Venerable level, venerable level. Xia Hong couldn't help but mutter a few times to himself, eyes full of curiosity and longing. That landgrave of Kai-Q feudal town is probably at this cultivation level. Judging from the power gap of various cultivation realms before, a strong individual at this level should be able to easily crush someone at the Xianyang level. Thinking of this, Xia Hong couldn't help but feel a bit more urgency. The main cauldron can be used to diagnose and heal individuals below the venerable level, so even if the Holy Vein pill can't heal Xiang Fuhai's injuries, it won't matter. Of course, there's also the important consumption and subsequent upgrade conditions. Consumption: 30,000 coal hour for pill production. The diagnostic function will consume varying amounts of coal, stone, and silver depending on the rarity of the item. The medicine field consumes 2,000 silver day. The main cauldron's healing function consumes 1 million silver per use. Upgrade conditions: 5 billion mu, 5 billion coal, 9 billion iron, 500 million silver, 20,000 gold, 1,000 combined elixir recipes. Tuzg. After reading the last two descriptions, Xia Hong couldn't help but shake his head repeatedly. The function has become powerful, but the consumption has become extremely astonishing. Coal stone doesn't matter. Great Xia is currently overflowing with it. Silver per day for the medicine field means it surely needs to be used daily, which would amount to over 700,000 silver a year or 3.5 million taels of silver. The key is the consumption for healing, requiring 1 million silver resources per session, which amounts to 50 million taels of silver in actual silver. Great Xia's yearly silver earnings from the 7 towns just about suffices to treat illnesses 8 times. That's right, just for treating illnesses. The system description is very clear. After diagnosis by the main cauldron, further symptomatic treatment is needed, meaning the main cauldron is responsible for diagnosis, and the specific treatment methods have to be figured out subsequently. As for the requirements for subsequent upgrades, they didn't come as a surprise to him. Resource consumption doubled, and gold was added, which means that upgrading the alchemy pavilion isn't something to consider in the short term. The medicine field can be expanded. Go inform Mu Dong to send craftsmen to continue reclaiming new land on the inner side of the valley. I obey. Cheng Feng was immediately excited upon hearing this and hurriedly bowed in agreement. The last time the 3 pavilions were upgraded, the land in Great Xia Inner City wasn't enough. Now, with the inner city's growing population, the 8 departments have also built their respective halls. Xia Chuan had long arranged for the craftsman department to continuously expand the inner city into the valley. All right, continue with your work. I still need to visit the other 2 pavilions. Subordinate respectfully sees off the lord. Cheng Feng's face showed a startle upon hearing this, realizing that it wasn't just the alchemy pavilion undergoing significant changes this time, but also the artifact refining pavilion and martial arts pavilion. He couldn't help but become excited. The martial arts pavilion enhances cultivation efficiency. The artifact refining pavilion enriches the armory, not to mention the pills in the alchemy pavilion. These 3 buildings are closely tied to everyone in Great Xia, and their every change generally heralds significant camp development. Being the director of the harvesting department, Cheng Feng is well aware of this, which is why he is so excited. And just as he was growing excited, Xia Hong quietly arrived at the artifact refining pavilion. 18 Zong, your cultivation is indeed slightly inferior to Cheng Feng's. You barely leave Xia City, do you? Mu Dong wasn't crafting today but teaching his apprentices. The recent changes in the artifact refining pavilion must have alerted him, so seeing Xia Hong come over, he wasn't quite surprised. Mu Dong, having just sent off his apprentices, stiffened at Xia Hong's mention of his cultivation, nodded and replied with a bitter smile. I am indeed engrossed in artifact refining, having not left Xia City for several consecutive years. Forgive me, Lord. Xia Hong waved his hand, saying, Cheng Feng, like you, has an intermediate battle body, but his strength has reached 23 Zong, demonstrating he has put considerable effort into cultivation. Both of you shouldn't lack contribution value. I recall the exchange limit for dragon carp pill and green cod pill for the 8 departments' directors is 10 each per month. Your strength shouldn't lag behind his by such a margin, right? When an intermediate battle body breaks through, its basic strength should not exceed 16 Zong. Both Mu Dong and Cheng Feng have reached peak cold resistance cultivation. To improve, they would need Dan medicine. Thus, given equal resource supply, a 5 Zong difference in strength clearly signifies an issue. Either Mu Dong doesn't invest time in cultivation, or he hasn't exchanged for that many Dan medicines. Your insight is sharp, Lord. I'm not willing to invest much time in cultivation, so I've handed over the dragon carp pills and green cod pills I acquired to my son. Mu Dong has 2 sons named Mu Yan and Mu Feng, whom Xia Hong faintly remembers. When he heard that Mu Dong gave his cultivation resources to his sons, he shook his head and said, This is your family matter, and I shouldn't interfere much. However, I must remind you that your forging ability is closely related to your strength. Currently, 10,000 forging-level weapons require over 100 cold resistance-level craftsmen working day and night for half a year. For higher-level weapons, I estimate that without a Xianyang-level cultivation, it's not worth thinking about. By then, you surely can't expect me, the Lord, to stay in the artifact refining pavilion forging weapons as in the past, right? Chapter 1178, Chapter 400, Building Upgrades, Preparation and Plans, Spousal Tacit Understanding, Part 4. Hearing Xia Hong's tease, Mu Dong's expression froze. Moreover, if I remember correctly, you are already 57 this year. With the cold resistance level lifespan of 100, whether you live that long is still a question. If you don't focus on cultivation, you'll regret it when your lifespan runs out. Mu Dong was an early craftsman merged from Rojal camp. When Great Xia moved to the valley, he was already over 40. Among the current 8 department's directors, apart from prison department minister Li Tiancheng, he is the oldest. Upon hearing Xia Hong's reminder, Mu Dong suddenly paused, clearly realizing something. Looking at Xia Hong with a moved expression, he said, "Thank you for the Lord's reminder. I understand and will certainly spend more time on cultivation in the future." Xia Hong slightly nodded and didn't say anything more. Artifact Refining Pavilion, Level 4. Upgrade requirements: coal 2 billion, iron 3 billion, silver 70 million. The upgrade for the Artifact Refining Pavilion doesn't require wood resources, but the need for coal, iron, and silver is even more than for the Alchemy Pavilion. Resources: wood 7.7261 billion, coal 8.0872 billion, iron 7.8625 billion, silver 158.2 million. Fortunately, Xia Hong's assets are already substantial now. Upgrade. Just like the Alchemy Pavilion moments ago, the Artifact Refining Pavilion also emitted a strong light, but this time everyone was more experienced, and almost no one exclaimed. Mu Dong had already been full of anticipation when Xia Hong came in. Now, seeing the strong light bursting from the Artifact Refining Pavilion, his expression was naturally extremely excited. Artifact Refining Pavilion, Level 5. A place for crafting, capable of crafting weapons from 10 forged to 10,000 forged. Special Function 1. 5% probability of crafting beast-suppressing attribute weapons. Special Function 2. 0.1% probability of crafting suppression attribute items. Special Function 3. Can identify and distinguish various artifact refining materials with a probability of synthesizing new materials. Upgrade requirements: coal 9 billion, iron 15 billion, silver 1 billion, gold 100,000. The production rate of beast-suppressing attribute weapons has increased, and there is now a probability of forging suppression attribute items. Although 0.1% is very low, considering the efficiency of the Artifact Refining Pavilion's output, it's not low. The Artifact Refining Pavilion doesn't just craft weapons. Most other casting materials are produced here, meaning from now on, every 1,000 items produced will include one with a suppression attribute. You study the changes of the Artifact Refining Pavilion slowly. I'm going to the Martial Arts Pavilion. Farewell, Lord. Mu Dong hadn't even raised his head when Xia Hong had already vanished from his sight. The subordinate greets the Lord. At the top floor of the Martial Arts Pavilion, Bai Wuding, who was sorting lists, immediately stood up excitedly upon seeing Xia Hong enter. No need for formalities, I'm here to handle some matters. The Martial Arts Pavilion is managed by the camp supply department, but Qiu Peng, the director, couldn't possibly keep an eye on it all day. 2 years ago, he selected someone from the camp supply department to serve as the pavilion master responsible for the daily management of the Martial Arts Pavilion, Bai Wuding. Bai Wuding had long noticed the changes in the Artifact Refining Pavilion and the Alchemy Pavilion, so when he saw Xia Hong come in, his face was full of anticipation. Upgrade requirements: wood 1 billion, coal 3 billion, iron 4 billion, silver 80 million. Resources: wood 7.7261 billion, coal 6.0872 billion, iron 4.8625 billion, silver 88.2 million. Xia Hong didn't waste words, quickly checking the resources and upgrade conditions. Finding the resources just about sufficient, he directly chose to upgrade. A flash of strong light passed by. The 1,000 people focused on cultivation inside the Martial Arts Pavilion weren't affected at all. Only Bai Wuding's pupils trembled incessantly, his face full of anticipation. Martial Arts Pavilion, Level 5. A place for cultivation, capable of significantly enhancing cultivation speed, increasing martial arts comprehension, and providing 50 cold beast steaks. Special Function 1. Cold beast steak can use essence blood to record cold beast species, transform into any cold beast, and display that cold beast's full-grown power. Special Function 2. When activated within the Yangtze tripod's radiation range, cold beast steak can follow commands and fight autonomously. Special Function 3. Cultivation speed inside the martial arts pavilion is triple that of the outside world, with a maximum capacity of 3,000 people. Special Function 4. Sparring with cold beast steaks doubles martial arts comprehension efficiency. Martial arts pavilion consumption, daily silver 4,000 points. Cold beast steak consumption varies from minimum strength to maximum strength, ranging from coal stone 100 points per minute to silver 1,000 points per minute. Upgrade requirements: wood 20 billion, coal 18 billion, iron 5 billion, silver 1.5 billion, gold 150,000. The number of cold beast steaks hasn't changed, still 50. The augmentation in cultivation speed inside the martial arts pavilion hasn't changed, still 3 times. However, the number of people it can accommodate has tripled. Of course, the consumption has increased accordingly. Daily consumption of 4,000 points is twice as high as the Alchemy Pavilion's medicinal field consumption. As for the subsequent upgrade requirements, let's not even mention that. Xia Hong slightly shook his head, then reported the detailed changes of the martial arts pavilion to Bai Wuding, instructing him to immediately arrange with the camp supply department to expand the martial arts pavilion's cultivation capacity before turning to leave. The area of the Great Xia Inner City had expanded, but the overall architectural layout remained unchanged. Behind the 3 pavilions is the Great Xia Ancestral Temple, with the main hall of Great Xia in front. Xia Hong left the martial arts pavilion and directly flew to the main hall, but instead of going to the top floor political hall, he first went to the second floor warehouse. Greetings to the Lord. The silver doors of the second floor warehouse, guarded by over 100 cold resistance level soldiers, swung open as Xia Hong approached, and everyone immediately bowed in salute. No need for formalities, open the door. Yes. Over 100 people bowed, listened to the command, and then several turned to push open the door. As the doors opened, a surge of silver light burst forth, and even Xia Hong had to shield his eyes, not to mention the hundreds of cold resistance-level soldiers. Chapter 1179, Chapter 400, Building Upgrades, Preparations and Plans, Husband and Wife in Sync, Part 5. Gradually adapting to the silver glare, the 100 or so soldiers looked towards the inner side of the warehouse, breathing heavily. What, all want a piece? Seeing the soldiers' expressions, Xia Hong couldn't help but tease. We lost our composure, please forgive us, Lord. The soldiers swiftly averted their gaze and turned to bow before Xia Hong, pleading for forgiveness. Stand up, I'm not blaming you. So much silver, even I find it dazzling, let alone you, but these things are more useful to me than to you. Xia Hong probably understood this statement best himself. But with his transcendent status in everyone's mind in Great Xia, all the soldiers upon hearing this showed expressions of agreement, clearly seeing no problem with his words. After speaking, Xia Hong didn't linger but directly entered the warehouse. Though the Great Xia main hall had been renovated, its size remained unchanged, with a length of 200 meters and a total area of 40,000 square meters. The entire main hall had been raised to 30 meters, divided into 3 levels, the top floor as the political hall, and the first 2 floors now serving as warehouses, the second floor storing silver, the first storing 1,000 forged iron blocks for minting money and forging weapons. Upon stepping into the warehouse, Xia Hong paused slightly. No wonder the soldiers were breathing heavily and displaying such expressions. With this warehouse scene, anyone might struggle to remain composed. The floor of the 40,000 square meter warehouse was almost fully piled up, all shimmering with silver coins. The left side contained irregular silver blocks, clearly mined from the silver mine. The right side had silver ingots and silver cakes earned through trade during this period. Resources: wood 672,610,000, coal 308,720,000, iron 86,250,000, silver 820,000. Looking at the upgraded resource data, Xia Hong shook his head repeatedly. After busying himself in the warehouse, more than half of the silver on the ground had disappeared, later rushing to the first floor to the iron warehouse, busying himself for a while. Finally, when he left the iron warehouse and reached the third-floor political hall, the resource data had changed to wood 672,610,000, coal 308,720,000, iron 862,510,000, silver 4,826,000. Wood, coal, and iron resources are completely overflowing. Silver can only be said to be not scarce. Abundant is another story, but considering the stockpile and several silver mines being mined, using it for a dozen years shouldn't be an issue. Coupled with the trade earned from the 8 towns, it can be sustained longer. But come to think of it, there's no need for such a long period. Just following the plan, before long the 8 towns will become part of the Great Xia territory. As Xia Hong entered the political hall, he slowly climbed the podium, looking up at the map of the Great Xia behind the main seat, a flash of dominance in his eyes. "When did you return?" While pondering, suddenly a female voice came from the side of the main seat. Turning his head, seeing Li Xuanling in white, noticing her breathing was still unstable, Xia Hong knew she had just completed her cultivation, shook his head saying, "Just returned, knowing you were cultivating. I deliberately didn't go to the star-picking hall to avoid disturbing you, yet you came out by yourself." Upon hearing the care in Xia Hong's tone, a gentle hue flashed in Li Xuanling's eyes, but she deliberately said casually, "This retreat was too long. I felt a bit irritated, so I came out to relax." 57 mained. Cultivation speed increased again. You should be able to start impacting Xianyang level by the end of next year. Seeing Xia Hong recognizing her cultivation growth, a prideful glint appeared in Li Xuanling's eyes, but a confusion clouded her expression hearing the latter part. She wanted to break through to the peak of cold resistance. Her strength needed to increase by another 11 manes, even maintaining the current pace of improving 1 main per month required until the end of next year. Heavenly Yang fruit obtained. But as Xia Hong pulled out 15 brilliant fruits from his bosom, she instantly understood. "A total of 16, I just gave Cheng Feng one, letting him research in the alchemy pavilion to see if it can be refined into Dan medicine. With these, your breakthrough should speed up even more, and not just these." Li Xuanling knew about Xia Hong's trip to White Tiger Pond, but not about the Black Flood Dragon situation thereafter. Hearing Xia Hong bringing Murong Chui and Zaihu Zhang to chase away the Black Flood Dragon, then discovering the Black Flood Dragon cave mansion alone underwater, her eyes showed both joy and concern. Joy naturally for Xia Hong's great harvest, worry over Xia Hong risking all this for her early breakthrough, a lesson learned from facing viable opponents. Worry grew, imagining encountering unbeatable ones. "Were you hurt?" Hearing Li Xuanling's concern, Xia Hong smiled, intended to deny, but Li Xuanling rushed over, lightly clapping and prodding him, personally checking thoroughly, only then relaxing completely. Warmth blossomed in Xia Hong's heart, recognizing Li Xuanling's thin-skinned nature, saying nothing more, continuing on North Shuo's visiting letter topic, including the Kai Qiu feudal town, which Li Xuanling, having stayed in Xia City during this period, was unaware of. Upon learning, Yang Zhun gathered northern 3 towns, intending to cause trouble in Hongmen City. Li Xuanling's expression darkened, yet little worry showed in her eyes, unclear if trusting Great Xia's strength or Xia Hong's capability. After Xia Hong finished speaking, Li Xuanling softly asked, "What's your plan? If there's external realm forces involved, exposing too much power isn't advisable, risking unwanted attention." He lowered his head, gazing at Li Xuanling, eyes gleaming, unable to resist marveling. "I haven't even discussed my response yet, you know." Seeing surprise in Xia Hong's eyes, pride lit Li Xuanling's breathtaking face, smiling. "I know your affairs, what's hard to guess? If Yang Zhun seeks a dominion rivalry with Great Xia over Mo's throne, you surely aim to subdue all 8 towns including him." Xia Hong nodded, recognizing his wife's intelligence at a new level, softly querying, "How many people does Great Xia currently have at cold resistance level and earth-digging realm limit?" Cold resistance level, 7,252 people. Earth-digging realm limit, 24,272 people. Under my name, issue orders to the military department and hunting department, instructing all cold resistance levels and earth-digging realm limits, dispersed at other posts, to halt current tasks and arrive in Xia City by the 16th. Also, notify the camp supply department to prepare all 100 forged Thunder QE armor and 1,000 forged armor in stock, ready for distribution upon their arrival as temporary equipment. Tell them to assemble first at Dragon River Village on the 17th night, ensuring they reach Hongmen City before dawn on the 18th. After Xia Hong's series of orders, Li Xuanling understood quickly, a light glimmering in her eyes, nodded, adding, "Would it be wise to bring back defense envoys from other posts as well? Except for Xing River North Bank, Great Xia currently faces no external threat. Short departures wouldn't be problematic." Xia Hong nodded, "All right. The craftsman department has plenty of good items yet used. I'll instruct Mu Dong to transport them there. Doing it thoroughly requires caution. Use your judgment. External methods likely won't attract undue attention." Li Xuanling continued speaking, remembering something, spoke again. "The 18th will likely be lively. I'll accompany you." Upon hearing Li Xuanling's words, Xia Hong frowned, instinctively considering refusal, but suddenly two small voices emerged from behind the elevated platform. "Mom, if you're going, I want to go. I want to go too. If sister's going, then I'm going too."